We're heading back down to the sewers as we're wrestling another gator, as we talk about a sequel 11 years in the making, as we're talking about 1991's Alligator 2, The Mutation. Let's go!
Flip the switches to maximum amplification as Parker, Dan, and Angela prepare for their operation. With trivia and plot points scrawled across their walls, laughter and debate erupts as the movie's drama calls. The world may call them crazy, minds gone astray, but genius and passion and madness all dance the same way. Now the show begins to rise from its broadcast realm, and you can open your eyes as we dissect that film.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dissect That Film, a podcast that dissects the good, the bad, and the ugly of cinema. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, my wonderful co-hosts, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello.
Up.
And once again, we have two legends of the podcasting world back with us to talk about another creature feature. The first time they were here, we got to talk about Anaconda from 1997, and now they're back again to talk about another big reptile. Today, we have Joe and Sean from Movie Dumpster. What's going on, guys? Welcome back.
Up, guys? The only thing legendary is the one Joseph Bologna from this movie. That's the only thing legendary on this particular show.
Good old.
I was gonna say
good old.
We flew in on the baby birds, guys.
Yeah,
all
like John Voight and Anaconda.
We rode the snake right into alligator country, dude.
Yeah,
that's what happened. We went down to Bayou Dale with Richard Lynch, and he showed us how to go there. And Kane Hodder was there, and he said, "Come on, we gotta kill this alligator."
Yeah,
and John Voight just winked at the camera.
Yeah.
He said, "We'll get that gator, baby bird. We'll get that gator."
Fucking
he
hell.
just has the net. That's it.
Yeah.
We were robbed of the John Voight, Richard Lynch, like buddy, like Amazon hunting, like big game hunting movie.
Yeah, just set it in Congo though, so we get that sesame cake line.
Oh my God, they're hunting the fucking gorillas. There you go. It writes
Tim
itself.
Curry's there randomly.
Tim Curry's there. He's like, "Oh, the lost city of Zinja, Mr. Voight. I saw an emerald the size of my fist."
He's eating a sesame cake. He's eating it on the side.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
So good.
Well, if you didn't hear the intro, we are talking about Alligator 2, The Mutation from 1991, a sequel 11 years in the making, and it really isn't even a sequel. It just has the name. It's just another alligator movie. And you know what?
Like a remake.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But last year, we covered the original from 1980, so make sure to check that out. Also, Movie Dumpster has an episode about the 1980 original, so you definitely should check that out. But today we're talking about a sequel that I don't think anyone talks about. Like, I don't ever see anyone talking about Alligator 2, The Mutation. And anytime you would see anything mentioned about this movie, it's mostly people telling you not to watch it because it's bad. Well, we're
cowards.
Yeah, exactly. Because
it's bad in the best way possible.
Exactly. Joe, perfect wording for that, because this movie wasn't bad.
Well,
and we're going to talk about, okay.
It's a certain kind.
It's a certain kind of bad.
This is the kind of B movie that you look for.
Yes.
This is cracking the beer boys, hitting the bowl boys, hanging out with a group of friends, and just fucking enjoying the shit out of some Z-grade horror movies. And that's actually shot really well. It's competently made. So.
Yeah, 100%.
It's one of those, you turn on TBS in the late 90s and this was on, or USA, this was on, or this was like a early Sci-Fi Channel movie. Like you would see it on Sci-Fi Channel. It wasn't an actual Sci-Fi Channel movie. It was just one of those movies they'd have on the channel.
Telling Sean before we started recording, I was like, this was one I watched on USA all the time. I've seen this one more than I've seen the first one. and it was on there all the time. Alligator 2, and it showed you like it running through like the carnival or whatever the fuck it is at the end.
Yeah,
TNT.
So flipping this on for this episode, I just felt I had such a good time watching it. It was fun.
It's certainly, I don't know if this is out yet, and sorry for spoilers, but this is definitely shot and made a lot better than Ape was. So I don't know why we didn't talk about that. Ape from 1976
or 6.
It's fucking horrid.
Yeah.
Ape, APE. That's terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, I'm assuming it's a King Kong ripoff.
It is 100%.
It's not horny enough, dude. Go watch Mighty Peking Man for that.
Yeah,
I saw the poster. I think maybe that's why I made the connection.
Yeah, one of its names was like giant horny gorilla. So
not horny enough. No. Nowhere near.
But we're not talking about Ape. We already talked about that over on the Monster Zone. Now we're talking about Alligator 2, The Mutation.
Which could have been on Monster Zone.
Joe kind of shared his history with this movie. He was seeing it on USA. Is there anything else you have to say about this movie? Like your history with this movie?
I would conflate it for the first one all the time because I thought there was only the one when I was a kid. So as I got older, I realized that there was 2 movies, and then I watched the first one because sometimes I think they would like double feature them on USA. But anyway, it was just a good time. I remember just like it put me right back in the summertime with the windows open and just flicking this on USA, and it was good stuff. Yeah, eating my bowl of ramen. Yep.
Heck yeah, good times. Sean, what about you?
You guys, they asked us to do this episode. I never fucking watched it before. I've seen the first one many times. It's one of those sequels. I am kind of ashamed to admit you read that people don't like it, so I just never checked it out. I try to be better about that in recent years, but it's kind of old habits die hard, guys. But glad I finally watched it for this.
Dan, Angela, what about you guys?
Didn't even know there was a sequel, so we watched it first time Sunday.
Listen, I was tuning into this I was expecting more jokes about a receding hairline. First off,
no. Hair plug.
Oh, like the first one. Yeah,
exactly. But I only picked this because I love creature features, obviously, and it was a sequel to a movie we'd already covered in the past. I was like, you know what? I've never seen Alligator 2. Let's talk about it. That was it.
It's way more tropey than the first one is.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have seen this one other time, and it was years ago. I remember renting it at like Hollywood Video because I was a big Lake Placid. I still am a big Lake Placid fan.
Yeah,
and I was obsessed with like alligators and crocodiles, and you find a movie at the video rental store that's called Alligator. You're renting it, so I rented this one after, of course, renting the first one, and I was just like, cool. There was also Crocodile and Crocodile 2. Like there was, and then of course there was Komodo, which we've talked about on the show before. You know, anything that had an animal's name in the title, Parker was renting it. Like it was a Python, Anaconda, like all of those movies. I would just constantly rent them. This one is one of those that I always got confused with the first. Like it wasn't the fact of like not knowing it didn't exist, but like if anyone ever asked you like, hey, what's Alligator 2 about? You're just like, it's about an alligator, man. I like it because I always got the plots of the two, just they all smudged together. Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, it's like, big company puts chemicals in the water and turns alligator huge, and it's in the sewer ?
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
I think
similar skeletons. You know, the blueprints are there.
Yeah,
the first one makes way more sense though than this one.
And Robert Forster is a better lead, in my opinion. I like the lead of this movie. I think Joey Baloney is a great lead, but
he's good.
I just didn't believe he was in a relationship with Dee Wallace, who I forgot was in this movie.
She gets like 5 or 10 minutes of screen time this whole fucking movie.
As many times as Dee Wallace is like, we're gonna fuck, right? Like, I don't believe they're together at all.
And why are you just leaving? You can't take 5 minutes to go to your wife and then go do the investigation.
Right. It's like, all right, let's fuck, and then I'll go down to the lake and talk to the gang.
Like a running joke in the whole movie.
Yeah. I mean, what end? It's gonna take 2-3 minutes tops.
With the way she was looking, absolutely, it wasn't taking very long.
He's like, sorry, sweetie, I'm gonna go polish my gun. Just walks off.
That hairstyle was very popular at the time, and Dee Wallace was very famous. I mean, not that that matters for the fucking movie, but it's like, yeah, I mean, she can get it. She's wearing that nightgown when he comes home for his birthday. She's clearly
He's looking good.
Listen.
He's looking good. D is too good looking for him, for Joey Baloney.
This is the third movie we've covered with Dee Wallace, because we covered E.T. a couple years ago, and then we covered The Frighteners last year. And I mentioned in The Frighteners that she looked good in that too. And so Dee Wallace, babe. So as for the people behind the movie and the actors, we have John Hess as the director, who literally the only thing he's famous for other than this movie is he was a producer for American History X.
Huh.
That's about it. There you go.
Go one have under your belt.
What did you do?
I guess.
I did American History X and Alligator 2, The Mutation.
The music was done by Jack K. Tuller. Don't know who that. I don't recognize him or anything he's done, so we'll move on. It came out June 5th, 1991, so 4 short months before yours truly was born. It had a budget of $3 million, but I don't have box office or anything. I don't even know if this actually went to theaters.
Yeah, it had limited release.
Okay. Sure. Well, I couldn't find how much it made, so clearly not a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't really tell. I didn't look that up. But when you're watching it for a 1991 movie, like you could tell it was definitely like, if not like Joe just said, limited release. It was pretty much made for video. Like it still looks good, but there's certain shots where you're like, they were saving budget on that one.
Oh, totally. It's not that bad though. I don't think it looks
no.
shoddy at all.
I'm just saying it has kind of that look.
But a lot of these movies, especially early 90s, they would get limited theatrical release, but then find their life on video and TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's where the money was.
Especially a lot of these creature features. I think that, I mean, you look at the Tremors series. I mean, Tremors 1 did okay, and then the rest of them were kind of, they weren't, like, people weren't storming out to go see the new Tremors movie. So when they would drop on, home rental or whatever, that's where the popularity went.
I remember vividly seeing Tremors 2 Aftershocks like on the new release little section in primetime video in Brick, New Jersey, and losing my fucking mind that there was another Tremors movie out, and I rented it immediately. That ironically, that's my favorite one, but yeah.
I remember going to the Hollywood Video and seeing Tremors 4, which was the prequel, and I was like,
The Legend Begins.
I was like, there's a fourth one?
That should have been so much better. I forgot about that. We did an episode.
Wasn't that like
movies.
back to? Was that The Legend Begins? Back to Perfection. Oh, no, okay, that's 3.
Perfection 4 is Legend Begins. I actually like 5 a lot. Bloodlines with
Western,
Jamie Kennedy.
right?
Yeah.
No, the 5th one is the 4 is a Western. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
okay.
it's like 1800s.
Yeah.
So we have, and I'm going to purposely mispronounce this man's name. We have Joseph Bologna as Detective David Hodges. We have Dee Wallace as Christine Hodges. We have Richard Lynch as Hawk Hawkins. We have Woody Brown as Officer Rich Harmon.
He's Hawk Hawkins? Does it really say that?
Well, it's his nickname. Hawk is his nickname. So on Wikipedia, it just says Hawk Hawkins.
Oh my!
That's all you. You don't ever hear his first name. He played.
Somebody's fucking with you.
I was watching this going, who is this guy? I recognized him, and I recognized him from The Weirdest Movie, which was also a movie that Dee Wallace was in. He was in Halloween 2007, the Rob Zombie Halloween. He played the principal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but he's also in Puppet Master 3.
Yes, which I didn't. Well, I mean, I didn't get into the Puppet Master series till like a couple years ago, so I was like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
He's in that movie Werewolf that they did on MST3K with Joe Estevez. One of the best episodes of MST3K.
Oh wait, which season is it? Do you remember?
I don't remember which season, but it's the Werewolf.
I'll have to watch it. I'll have to watch it.
That's one of my favorites. It's so good.
My favorite. I have a favorite, but it's The Final Sacrifice.
Oh, that's Connor's favorite too.
I fucking love that movie. Anyway, I'll look that one up. I'm not sure.
One, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
We have Woody Brown as Officer Rich Harmon. Holly Gagnier as Sherry Anderson. Who was that again? I don't know. Thanks, Wikipedia.
The mayor's daughter.
That's right. Yeah. And she
Parker's got a nice backyard, my man.
She does.
Yep.
I had that scene.
Sure does. She literally did not. She has 4 movies to her repertoire, and then she did a lot of TV.
Soap operas.
Soap operas.
And we looked her up, and I was like, I don't remember anything she was in.
Oh, she played one of Joey's sisters in Friends. Okay.
Oh.
Now I recognize her. Mary Angela, the one that Chandler makes out with and doesn't remember.
Maybe that's it.
That's it.
Sure.
Listen, I'm a big Friends fan. I don't care.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't care to not. I will always admit it. Bill Daly is Mayor Anderson.
Friends podcast, dude.
I should, but then there's I already know a bunch that started in the last year, and I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't, because I would just do the same thing. What doesn't matter?
We're doing the same thing.
I can barely keep this one afloat. You want me to start another one?
I'm just saying you could. I'm starting one, and everybody else has done what I'm doing.
Go where the passion is, guys.
Oh, it is. It's right here.
Is it? Can I make a podcast by jerking off?
Whoa,
there you go.
That's passion.
I feel like people should pay for that.
Palm Pilot, nailed it.
You could. There you go.
Palm Pilot,
ASMR.
Yep,
right?
Patent penny.
You jerk off for the microphone. Somebody's paying for it, dude.
Different solutions like gloves, stuff like that.
You better make a lot of money doing that, by the way.
Talk about a mutation.
Yeah, I'm glad this.
Oh,
this is
God. All right. Steve Railsback as Vincent Brown. Why does that name have to follow right after we're talking about Railsback? Railsback. What's he been in? What's Railsback been in? He was in a movie called Cockfighter in 1974.
Hell yeah.
Enough said. He was also Charles Manson in the 1976 Helter Skelter.
Yeah, that flick weird. It's really good.
He's like with the main character in Life Force, the Toby Hooper movie with the space vampires, where that woman's naked the whole time. He's in Blue Monkey.
He's the detective in Blue Monkey.
Yeah, you want to listen to a great episode about Life Force? Listen to our pals over at Give Me Back My Action Horror Movies. And see how much they love Life Force.
Okay. I was going to say, I also know him from X-Files. He does a couple episodes of X-Files.
Yeah, he looked familiar from X-Files. That's I think that's where I recognize him from. Of course he is. He was made to be a bad guy.
Was he in a Chuck Norris movie?
Yes, he was in.
Probably.
Maybe not him.
I know there
was a cast member who was in a Missing in Action movie, and I can't remember who it was.
Okay. Maybe it was him.
Brock Peters as Chief Clarence Speed. What a name. Trevor Estier as J.J. Hodges. One of my favorite characters, Vojislav Govodarica.
This dude's awesome.
As Carmen, which is Brown's bodyguard. Love this guy. Kane Hodder as Billy Boy Hawkins.
He's got lines in this movie.
Yeah, one of the two returning cast members from the first movie, because there was the Kane Hodder one is more like, it was like, Kane Hodder was in the alligator suit, and then there's some reports saying that he wasn't even in it, and then it was like, who cares? Kane Hodder was there. We could say that.
Good. Whatever. He was the foot.
The character he plays here is actually kind of funny for the bit part, but that fucking doctor, that is so confusing when I don't know if we're going to talk about that, but that doctor that returns from the first movie, I'm like, why is he playing a different character? It's like he's in the first movie as a doctor, and then the second movie, he's in it as a fucking doctor, but he's a totally different character because the movies aren't related. So I'm like, wait a second, are these movies related? But then the guy never talks about the mutation from the first movie because it's a different character, but he's also playing a doctor who the guy pulls out the map.
It's also a different town, I think.
No, it's like the first one.
Well, the first one was in the Chicago area, and then
that was Chicago. This is L.A.
Is it? Did they mention that? Because they never say what the town is. I figured it was like Florida or something.
That's what I thought.
I assumed. I thought both of them were Florida. I just watched both of them. I don't think they're in Chicago. Did they say that?
The first one is either in Chicago, or it was like she gets the alligator from Chicago at the fair, and then she lives in Missouri, and that's where it gets flushed down the toilet.
Or vice versa. Either way. Yeah.
I thought she was in Florida. She picked it up at in Florida or Georgia. They were vacation. Maybe. They took it back.
Dude, we recorded that episode a year ago. I can't remember anything. I'd have to listen to the episode again.
I'd start with
the time for that.
The doctor was just good for that guy getting a gig. It was just kind of jarring to see the same character, basically, but not the same character.
Yeah. Carmen Philpe as Henry Wino Henry, which was the
yes.
He's back. We talked about him. Actually, I don't think we've ever actually talked specifically about him, but he was in Halloween 4. He was the drunk reverend who drives Loomis around. when he's losing in the car and he's just looking at him.
Blob remake, isn't he?
Yes, he is in that.
Bum in the Blob remake.
He plays a bum in a lot of things.
He remind me of, and this is just that character type. Parker, you guys, I don't know if you've seen it. I'm sure. Never mind. Them.
Yeah,
Everyone did them.
Oh, the crazy guy.
The crazy guy. And he's like, oh yeah, they're out there in the Gulf. He's like, make me a sergeant, charge the booze. Yeah, that guy. Fucking this. I don't know. That's
awesome.
Oh,
love
man.
that fucking movie.
And the last guy we'll mention is Thomas Rosales Jr. as Victor.
Did I
He was
miss
in
this?
this?
I didn't see Thomas Rosales Jr. But I saw what's his name? Ramon Estevez though.
Yes, which is a callback
He's the
to
guy
the first one.
Yeah.
Because that's what the alligator's name was Ramon.
Yeah, but no, Ramon Estevez is Joe Estevez's son, I think. He's part of the Estevez clan.
Oh.
Like the actor.
I just heard Ramon and I went, hey, that was the alligator's name in the first one. So that's like a callback, right?
Wow.
But I didn't realize that was like his actual name because I don't know all the history of that was one of the wrestlers, right? Was Ramon.
No, well, yes, but what Joe's talking about, he's like one of the background actors of what Joe's talking about. Two different
Do you know in the beginning of the movie when those two guys get killed in the lake?
Yeah.
The one guy goes, look at the fish. It's gigantic. It's so big. That's Ramon Estevez.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
No, during the we'll talk about it when we
Yeah,
get
they call that wrestler.
Yeah.
Also,
Ramon is the alligator for sure, yeah.
Right. One other cameo, Professor Tanaka is in this fucking movie. He's the other wrestler.
Tokyo Joe.
I was like, wait a second. I had to look that one up. At first I thought it was Mr. Fuji, and then I had to slap myself in the head. I was like, asshole. No, Mr. Tanaka. And I was looking it up. I was like, holy shit, he's in this. He's in a bunch of movies at the time.
From Three Ninjas, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the guy they kick in the balls.
Yep. Classic scene.
All right, well, I think it's about time to hop into the plot of Alligator 2, The Mutation. Are we ready?
Which is just like the first one, yeah.
Just like the first one. All right, guys, it's been 100%. Real. Time to go.
Episode guys. We've covered it.
Well, it's it's called Mutation, but literally it was a fucking mutation in the first movie. I mean, they explain the mutation's different in this one, but
you'd think that it would be something significant, right? But D. Walsh just goes, "It's a gator, but it's a mutation, TM," and then it's like, oh, okay.
Well, it's got steel armored skin, Joe. Only a needle like a dragon can kill it.
You can't shoot with that carapace.
Is this like
whatever that fuck?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, carapace. Am I saying that correctly?
Carapace, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think now that you said this about the armor, I've just thought of Smaug. I've got the black. Now I'm thinking of the animated one. I've got the black arrow. Let it fly true or whatever. It hits that one spot. It just kills the alligator.
Joey Baloney's got
the black arrow,
the black needle.
Yeah.
That's it. Woo!
It takes him a while to get to that point in the movie. We got a little way to get to that. But
Finch tells him there's a scale missing in the bottom of his body. That's the weak point. But it's D. Wallace is the bird. I don't know.
Oh my god! It's Richard Lynch as the bird.
Okay, that's fine.
Got a soft spot between the jaw and the belly.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
a bird with his actual head on.
We'll talk about Richard Lynch and his many accents in this movie because it's not consistent at all.
Son of a bitch.
All right, let's hop into the plot. It's time to dissect that film. So the movie starts with a couple guys pouring some chemicals down a sewer drain, and there's just this one guy named Vinny who's just standing there staring at him, and they're like, what's that guy doing? He's like, don't fuck with Vinny. And all Vinny goes is, what? And they're like, oh, Joe, sorry. Yeah, we're done. All right, gotta go.
You don't want to fuck with Vinny. No, keep dumping chemical down the hole.
The poor rat, though, that has constantly trying to stay on this fake skeleton that's in the freaking sewer. It just keeps screaming.
Oh, we have this running joke on our
4 baby turtles, man. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You go.
Yep.
We have this running joke on Movie Dumpster where our former co-host Connor McGraw, he always was like a skeleton in a lot of sketches we did. So this thing, he also has pet rats. So I'm seeing this thing crawling this skeleton. I couldn't help but think I got to text him later. But Connor, I was thinking of you
together. Yeah.
With the turtles, all 4 or 5 of them.
He owns the original Splinter before he became mutated. Then we are with a couple spear fishermen who are fishing at this random lake. Like, this is a horrible place to fish, by the way. Like, these are man-made. These aren't like natural lakes.
This is a stocked lake in the middle of like a fucking resort. Like, what is going on here?
It's like a park where everybody like does their laps and stuff. What's happening here? But
this lake is like of a deceptive size. Like, sometimes it just looks small, and then other times they're just out in the middle of this lake and nobody can find them. Like, how big is this lake?
Movie magic.
Yeah, when they're doing the spearfishing, I seriously thought we were in a different location. I thought we were in like a swamp. And then they show a daytime shot, and I went, what? It's like this, like a patch of reeds this big in like the corner of the pond. Like, okay.
Dude, there is a fucking sign there that says no fishing and no swimming, I'm sure.
But yeah, one of them gets attacked by the gator, and then the other one gets attacked by the gator. Some of the shots in this movie of the gator was actually just repurposed shots from the first one. There's not a lot of like, a lot of like the underwater shots and some of the sewer shots. So like when the gator's like chasing them down the sewer, it's
all the good ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when it goes back into the lake, that one shot is definitely from the first one too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little too obvious. They're hoping you saw the first one when it came out and you haven't revisited it, and you're like now in the theater in 91 not thinking about it.
I mean, this was 11 years. So I mean, I don't know when, if the original had a video release like soon after it came out, because when did VHS start becoming like a mainstay?
Yeah, I think it was on Lightning Video like the next year in 81.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I think, pretty sure.
But I mean, 11 years, that's a long time for us, especially a creature feature sequel.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Usually it's, I mean,
somebody was like, the fucking rights are going to be up. We better make this sequel, but make it just like the first one so we can retain it.
I think part of that too is, and we'll talk about it more so when we get to the part when the actual monster shows up. But I just think by the end of the movie, I think they overstepped the bounds of how good this thing could possibly look. So maybe they decided to intercut some of that old footage to kind of sell the monster a little more. I mean, I'm just kind of contemplating that. I actually don't have any clue. That's just my guess.
Yeah, they saved a couple bucks and got to recycle some really good shots.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about this whole attack scene is the music. It sounds like a boss fight in an SNES game. You're just like,
hold on,
ready for it to get pixelated and 16-bit.
I'm into it, dude.
Yeah.
Remember the SNES games had some bangers. What game are we talking about, dude?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't have an exact one in mind. I just said it sounded like a boss fight.
Well, you were like
Wizard of Oz, for fuck's sakes. This is circus music. I joke about this on Movie Dumpster sometimes.
I knew he was going to say the circus
This
music.
is like someone looking at Richard Band's fucking homework and trying to copy it, but he's like on the other side of the room. So it's like this shitty MIDI soundtrack.
Wait, are you saying somebody copied Richard Band's music? Richard Band was probably looking at somebody else's music while that looking at his.
It's an onion, guys.
Time they turn around.
Exactly.
Hey,
meanwhile, Jerry Goldsmith.
I've seen that score for. Let me see that score for Psycho. I just want to see it. I don't want to. I won't copy it. I swear.
It's reanimated. It's different.
I mean, even that first movie. The first movie doesn't have the most original soundtrack, but it's a fucking soundtrack. You have a little bit of that Jaws copycat shit.
Oh yeah.
There. This movie kind of saves its load on that till the end, and then it's a little too on the nose. But whatever.
No, I found it funny. I just found it amusing. Like I don't know. The only time I'll give music crap is like we talked about. I was over on B Action and we talked about a couple Hulk Hogan movies, and the music selections were just atrocious because it would just cut 14 times and you would have soothing, calm music during a rock climbing scene, and then it cut over to like an action scene with Shannon Tweed, and then it would cut back to Hulk Hogan doing nothing. But it would it's like two completely different scores, but they just didn't blend well together. And I'm like, what is happening? I would have been better off there was nothing here.
I want somebody to take one of those Hulk Hogan movies, erase the soundtrack, and make all of the background music variations of his WWE theme song. Just a whole fucking movie.
Make Parker watch it.
Oh, dude, I'd watch it with Parker. No. Like, yes, dude, Suburban Commando. Let's make it happen.
Listen, B Action's gonna torture me enough by bringing me on every time they talk about a fucking Hulk Hogan movie.
Hey,
all because I said I hate him.
Just say no. Just say no.
No, I got it.
No, it's your fault. You're an enabler.
Now I'm gonna find him and suggest movies for him to watch.
What's the wrestling one?
Man.
Well, yeah, I agree. I'm just saying.
I used to wear a Hulkamania shirt. I'll say it. Fuck him. He's an asshole.
He is.
Yeah, hot dog man.
I still love Suburban Commando, and Mr. Nanny's kind of fun, but he's still an asshole. Like Ghost Dad, same thing.
I like his
Gremlins
cameo in
2.
Gremlins 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Popcorn.
So now we meet our main character, Detective David Hodges. And he wakes up to a surprise from his wife and son. And in the video that his wife and son make for him, she is just giving him all this sex like hints in front of their kid.
In front of the kid.
Which is just weird.
Yeah.
Then she has to
you know what I mean.
Make sure you're home on time so I can send little Billy to whatever's house. So
she's
we
just
can
winking
get
the whole
your
time.
Birthday present.
She winks so hard it like hurts her. Oh,
Yeah, her fucking eye pops out. The son is one of the kid with the glasses from Sponge from fucking Salute Your Shorts.
Oh,
Really?
fucking.
Huh.
To be honest, completely forgot what the kid looked like after I saw him because he's only in the scene.
I was looking at him and I was like, oh shit. And then I saw him with like the glasses on and I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is watching that kid? That's a good
Gotta
point.
be a
Who's
grandparent or something. This movie only takes place, I think, over a day. Like, I don't think it's
maybe?
like a long period of
2 days.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she has to throw in the line, "See you later, alligator." And I was like, aha, I did. Because we haven't winked enough.
I missed that one.
And then you get the whole thing where just as he's about to put a cigarette in his mouth, she's like, oh, I'm so proud of you for quitting smoking. And he's like,
Oh, that was kind of funny.
Smoking on your birthday, Dad.
Yeah, because his son says it and he has the guilt trip going.
oh,
He just
man.
eats the cigarette.
Yeah.
Close enough.
So we then meet a bunch of rich guys, and then we find out one of the guys there is the mayor. And I'm like, oh shit, this is one of the subplots from the Jaws novel. Like they just put it in this movie because the mayor's involved in this guy's part of the mob. Like there's no way that's not what he's doing here. But they're all just being rich people with cigars, and they're like, we're gonna make a deal. We'll make sure nothing happens with this deal, or the deal's not gonna deal. And I was like, all right, cool. And
Well,
the mayor's over there like, oh, I'm so nervous. What's gonna happen?
He's like the fucking guy from the first movie, the pet store owner. Even though he's completely complicit killing pets and animals, he's like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. It's like the mayor, like this guy stole these people's like houses and property and shifted them on how much they paid for it. But you're concerned because you might get caught.
Yeah, exactly. This mayor throughout this entire movie is hilarious, just with how he's acting. Like, just get out. So we go to the police station. We see the daughter and mother of one of the guys that got attacked by the alligator the night before, and then one of them was like her uncle. You never see these people again, by the way. I thought this woman like has she clearly knows David. You think like she's gonna like work with him and things are gonna nope. See ya. Like she's not important anymore.
There's a big Latin community, so that's why I thought it was L.A., especially with the palm trees.
Oh
shit.
yeah,
So, I mean,
that does make sense.
And
Yeah,
I was trying to look up. I was trying to look up Regency Park, and like there is a Regency Park in L.A. So
Oh, okay.
Maybe it is L.A. then. Yeah,
Okay,
I just assumed Florida with alligators.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense to why like some of them are like, oh, there's an alligator here. That isn't like that's not normal because there's no alligators in
I
LA.
have no idea.
In Florida, it's
They
like, oh, there's a gator in a pond. What? Okay.
They don't
gives
tell
a
you like,
shit?
how it got there. Like in the first one, they're like, "Oh yeah, well you find out it's Robin Thicke's like pet alligator that she flushed down the toilet like fucking 20 years ago or whatever."
You just say Robin Thicke?
Not Robin Thicke. Robin, what the fuck's her name?
Oh, I don't know.
Was
The
like
main character.
The dad from Growing Pains?
Yeah.
That's Alan.
That's Alan Thicke. No,
Alan.
Robin Thicke is his kid.
The main female lead, the scientist from the first movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So David's like, okay, I'm gonna go try to find him. So he goes down to, or he talks to one of the rookies on the squad. His name is what the hell was his name? Is that
Harmon?
Harmon. And he's like, oh yeah, they found a boot with a leg still inside. And he was like, and you're just telling me this now? Cool. All right. Well, I guess I should go investigate that. So he goes and
Robin
meets. Yeah, there. Okay. You got it. We meet with, I'm guessing this guy's the coroner, right? This guy, the scientist that we're talking to now.
Well, that's the guy I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, the guy from the first one. Yeah. Who's a
They haven't established.
I thought you were talking about the guy from the beginning, like one of the suits, because that guy I think is a doctor from the first movie.
Oh, this guy's, unless I just, because I did watch it back to back, that guy's in the other movie. Maybe he wasn't a doctor. Maybe I'm fucking totally wrong about that, but I could have sworn he was a doctor in both films.
Oh, well, there's more than 2 people from the original? Because I read that it was like only 2 returning cast members from the first one. One of them was Kane Hodder, which
it's this guy.
That, but I could be wrong.
If I'm talking out of my ass, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this guy's basically the same character in both movies, but he doesn't play the same characters. That's why I was so fucking confused. Because I watched them not back to back, but within the same day of each other. But yeah, he's showing Hodges this fucking map. He's like, well, this could be like a one-time mention because they're looking at this like the marks on the leg. He's like, this is an animal attack. But he has like other places that supposedly other like transients disappeared. Like he has a fucking map with like marker and shit circled on it.
Yeah,
he's really into his job.
Yeah, and then we get on the phone with Dee Wallace, who's also a scientist, and she's just like, I don't think we'll have to look more into this because I don't think it's anything that he's saying. So she's like just throwing all of his theories in the trash.
Well, they literally talk about the saliva thing, and they use the exact slide from the first movie. They didn't even bother coming up with a new one. So they basically have the same conversation that they have in the first movie, like an hour into the movie, in the first like 10 minutes of this movie. So it's kind of actually they're covering a lot of the same material, but they're doing it differently. It actually keeps it kind of interesting.
I think they like do it way too quick. They just front load it with that, and they
no one
figure it out,
believes
like,
it
immediately. You know what I mean? Like where it's like a slow. I mean, we know it's the alligator in the first one, but it's like a slow burn. Like as the characters find out, and this one they're just like, oh yeah, it was a fucking alligator. Sure was.
And the concern for it is like,
well,
yeah, it is a gator.
Hodges said it was a gator, and he said he heard it from a homeless drunk dude. So it's got to be the thing. Like, okay,
totally.
So yeah, she's just like, you got to test the lake, and that's the only way that we're going to be able to fully get your theory to work. So David goes down to the lake. He sees there's like a tent set up with some rich ass hat just sitting there trying to like scam this woman out of her house, and he pretty much bullying the community. And he's just like, sorry, can't do anything. They're not breaking the law. So I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. This little kid like starts crying because something got his beach ball. And you see the gator literally puts it in his mouth and pops it and then goes under the water, and the kid's just standing there. Listen, this kid's like,
"Here, you want some gum, kid? Here,
this kid's like 4 years old. He's like,
take the whole
my
bag.
ball. It took my ball. It's like,
he looks like somebody. I think this kid was like a big. Oh, that's what he's from. I think he's the fucking kid from Surf Ninjas, man. He's the little brother, and he raised his brother's little brother.
Oh, I haven't seen it in a while. Maybe
I don't remember.
Little brother, yeah. I'm almost positive that's him.
Because
I
just
driving me nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he just has this one line, and I literally, again, if I don't see somebody for a long period of time in a movie, their face just disappears from my memory. So
sure.
Trying to figure it out. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. But then David finds the ball all torn up in the reeds. So
I thought it was an umbrella. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, how the fuck's an umbrella got to do with this? But it was a ball. I was like, oh shit, I'm like way off.
It's actually secretly a Resident Evil movie. 5 years before the first game comes out.
I was gonna bring that up. I was kind of waiting till we got to a certain point, but this is totally like a fucking Resident Evil ass movie.
But this was the scene though where I looked at the lake and went, "This isn't the same lake that we saw before. Like this is completely different. The reed area is like 2 by 2. Like what's going on over there? It's like barely anything over there."
that woman is actually, this is the only other scene she's in, because he's like, where were your uncle and your, I think it was her husband. She's like, oh, well, all those reeds over there, and that's what Parker's talking about. It's like in the background, it like looks like just like not even nothing, like something ducks fucking hang out in.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they catch fish over there every night, except now it's like polluted, and the fish don't always live long.
Yeah.
And he's like, huh.
And they're huge. They're like this big now, but they taste like shit. We can't eat them.
Right.
So he goes home and he's late for dinner, and Dee Wallace is mad because she wants to get laid, and he's doing his job. And then
that was so funny though, because she's Well, yeah, she's like, be home by 6:30, and yeah, like Joe just said, it's like burnt to a crisp like a fucking hockey puck. She's like, well, since you were home late, I just left it in the pan the whole time.
I was like,
and the
what?
potato, fucking baked potatoes, ice cold.
You're just gonna set your house on fire? What's happening?
Yeah, she's like, hurry up and eat that steak because your dick's gonna look like that slice of meat when I'm done with you. Like, holy shit, lady, I gotta go clean my gun. Walks off.
He does kind of talk to her about what's going on, and it seems like she kind of cools a little bit, but she's obviously still miffed.
Well, yeah.
I don't blame her.
She literally gets the folder, and this is when she goes, yeah, I think it's an alligator. And he's like, well, I gotta go. And I was like, no, bro. You got a few minutes. Go to your room, get it over with, and then go do your job.
Fine. Just stomps off.
300 pounds per square inch or some shit. Oh, really? I gotta
3,000. Yeah, 3,000 pounds. Like Gator. Yeah, it's
like you could throw fucking undie right quick. It would only take 5 minutes, 10 tops. Get out of there.
Give her a death roll in the bed.
Listen, Robert Forster had time. Robert Forster had time to get laid in the first one. Okay, so you got time to get laid in this one.
Yeah. He had time. He had time to have a fucking argument in the middle of the relationship when he got kind of self-conscious about his hair.
That's right.
And like had a whole like back and forth with his girl. Like he had plenty of time.
Oh man. But yeah, the last thing he says to her is like, "Hey, you look very sexy." And I went, "What are we doing? Get in there."
That man just needs some post-nut clarity.
Oh,
He'll be fine.
Lord.
He's already got his suede jacket on. He's ready to work.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like he's just going down to the lake to look at it. Like he's not doing anything.
Oh man.
He's got a secret meeting he's gonna have, Joe, that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
We think it's the guy Vinnie Brown sending to take care of him, but it's spoilers, it's not.
Yeah. We're gonna talk a lot about Mr. Brown because he is the most generic villain. So David goes down, meets with the chief about his alligator theory, and of course the chief is very stoic and he's like, that's ridiculous, you got nothing for that theory. And he's like, well, I'm gonna go chase it anyways, I don't care if you give me permission. He's like, all right,
this is like the last time, Hodges. Blah, 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 blah.
And he's like, yeah, well, the next time is the last time
on your own undercover.
The funniest thing is you have these two cops that are just like so out of place in this movie. They're like the comedy relief, but they just go a little too far with the comedy sometimes, where it just turns into the two cops from Halloween 5, where you just expect the clown music to start playing as they're walking around.
Circus music.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. They were kind of funny, like the first time that they're in there. I think this might be the first time, Parker, where they have like a little like back and forth. They're like with the $10, I think, when they go.
Yeah, I was like, oh, the mayor's daughter is gonna just look at us like what? They're gonna look like right past us or something like that. And she comes up and she's nice to them. So one of them wins $10.
Yeah.
So we get the whole thing where the chief's like, we can't have these things happening because they're gonna turn this city around. Mr. Brown's going to turn it around. He's going to make this place a party place. And I was like, oh, wow. It's not like I've seen this plot before.
Definitely not from Jaws, right?
No, not that movie.
Or Jaws 2.
Oh. Or Jaws 3.
We'll have a panic on 4th of July weekend. Does this take place on the 4th of July? Should we be concerned?
I can't open up SeaWorld with a giant shark.
Yeah.
Gotta send those dolphins to get them.
Oh, God, the dolphins.
That's right. And then when the shark dies, you could just have a man in an ape suit wrestle it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Had to be there, dude. Had to be there.
Had to be there. Yeah, I had it in my notes. I was like, what city is this? But now, since we've been talking about it, LA does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So they go in.
Called LA.
Yep. They go David goes into the building, and there's some crazy ass wrestling going on in here. They're literally wrestling outside of the ring, like into tables and stuff. And I was like, all right.
I love this because it's like that classic wrestling, right? Where
Yeah.
there's like a dinner party place and they're fucking wrestling, Mad Dog Howick and fucking, Big Man Japan or whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, it's definitely like out of like
it's Tokyo Joe in the Mad Russian.
Tokyo Joe, that's
right. Like out of a old martial arts movie or like a Yakuza game or some shit. Like the cage matches where people just fight for money, the gambling's like, super high tier, millions of dollars.
Yeah. This just made me think of The Simpsons. Oh. This Saturday on wrestling, Dr. Death and the Iron Yuppie will wrestle will wrestle, and one man will be unmasked and killed in the ring.
Oh my god!
Pretty much. There's a real wrestler, like the Wild Man guy that comes out on the fucking chain. Like, that was a real wrestler at the time.
Yeah, like I seen that. Professor Tanaka, who's in when they first come, he's fighting somebody.
Oh, he's fighting the Mad Russian, I think.
Yeah. That's
because the second
tropes, man.
the second fight is between that's where you hear the name Ramon, and I'm like, oh, there it is. And then that's when that's when Mr. Brown is talking about, or the daughter shows up and she's like, I'm just here because I'm concerned for my dad. And then she goes and sits with Mr. Brown, and then he talks about how, oh, hey, that's my wrestler, but he's gonna lose tonight. And so she's like, oh, so you fix the fights? And he's like, no,
I sure do. Hey, I know you're a little girl and we're gonna make you be a woman now or something. And then she fucking like punches him in the face. It's great.
Oh, well, that's great.
Like the whole thing she misses, though. I mean, I kind of talked about a little, so maybe I screwed you up, but it's like that's when Hodges is at there, like basically trying to grill Vince about like, we need to stop this. This fucking alligator's here. No one believes him, and the mayor's like whinging, like maybe not. And Vince is like, get this Joker the fuck out of here, and has the other cop arrest him.
He fucking arrests him. He's like, arrest him and get him out of here.
I like how it just works that way.
The mayor goes, put Hodges on house arrest. Handcuff him to yourself. And I was like, what is happening? Does the mayor have that pull? Like, he's doing his job. Like, that's like if the mayor in Jaws literally just was like, all right, we're putting you on house arrest, Brody, for doing your job. Hey, Hendrix, get over here and handcuff Brody to you. Like, what are we doing here?
Go talk to those people. What do you mean? They're your people. Go talk to them.
I do love this part though, where he like
people, you go talk to him.
He kind of acts like a cool cucumber, and he's like, I gotta use the bathroom. Come on. He's like, yeah. And he walks.
This is good.
You enjoy the show.
Yeah, with the other
he
cop.
He somehow tricks this motherfucker into like letting him get unhandcuffed to take a piss, and then like handcuffing him to the toilet in a fucking 25-cent bathroom. Stall that you have to like get into. Has anyone ever used one of those? I've never used.
No.
Once.
Really? Where was that?
Outside of my normal area. I was on vacation. I can't remember.
You know it's a paid toilet when there's a problem with people going in there and fucking shit up.
Yeah, probably.
I don't understand why people just can't use the bathroom like normal. You know, why do I got to go in there and have piss and shit all over the place
and blood and on the walls?
Oh God. But then Hodges leaves. Exactly. Hodges
leaves. The blood?
Well, anything.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sean.
I'm sorry. I wanted to finish that thought before I forgot. Sorry.
Please go. I'm sorry.
Talk about the blood. Talk about the shit. I'm here for it. We got a little cum in there in the bathroom. We make yogurt or ice cream or something like Cheech.
No.
Found condoms in the bathroom.
Found condoms in the theaters.
Ew.
Yeah, it happens. Found liquor bottle. I found a balled up underwear on the back of toilets when I used to clean the movie theater. Just work there. Just manage it. I guess. I mean, like, you just really had to shit, and like, you just didn't have time. It just blew out. It's just balled up on the thing. They were wet. Like, you try to wash them, just throw them away. Just be done with them.
We had
you can free ball it until you get home.
No, we had one person. I don't know what they did, but they left their underwear and their shoes, and they walked out with no shoes on.
A choice was made that night.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hodges leaves the guy handcuffed to the fucking toilet and says, "Yeah, don't move too much. That thing flushes like a motherfucker." And then just like that's when he walks out past those two cops that are like the comedy relief Parker was talking about,
who always go Hodges, and you just expect some like sitcom music to play after they say that. Like,
and I love how he just gets in his car that they gave him shit earlier for parking like in a spot he's not supposed to. They like even throw him the keys back. And he's like, all right, yeah, go in the bathroom, by the way. So-and-so might need help. But like they don't for a long time because they're hanging out with the mayor's daughter and Vincent.
Yeah.
Well, also, he's like, there's some pervert in there. Go take care of him.
Yeah.
And then that's when the mayor's daughter shows up and they just like totally forget about it.
Right. Yeah, that's what they say,
Yeah.
So Brown hears about the alligator theory and he's like, well, we'll just hire some hunters. And we move on.
I'll take care of it on my own terms.
So we then are back we're back with the wrestling. We got the two new fighters. There was this is the fight that Brown's throwing, by the way. And one of them's just
You mean it's
biting
safe?
the other. I was like, all right. I mean, this is
The one guy
1991. I mean, I guess
bites-
this is normal.
That was
One guy
normal.
bites Tokyo Joe's fucking nose.
That
at
happened
one
back
point.
in old school
Bites him right in the
wrestling.
schnoz.
I was like, what is happening here?
Like staged, but it's also incredibly violent. Like, well, if they die, whatever. The other guy's making a lot of money. Who cares?
Fuck him.
Oh man.
I guess
So-
it's like taking a fall in boxing. I mean, you still get your ass beat.
Yeah.
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 So we're back in the sewers, and we're with a couple, or we're with a homeless guy. The guy played by what was his name? Carmen Philpe. This was Henry, and he's down there, doing his thing, and then he hears something in the distance, and he's concerned for his friend, and
Otis.
yeah, and his friend's not answering, and then when he goes further in, he sees the alligator pop out of the shadows with his buddy in his mouth, shaking him around like a dog would shake a toy.
Great. Great.
Uses him as a
And then he
toothpick.
fucking like tail whips him against the wall.
Oh yeah, he sends him
Turns into a
flying.
completely different person.
Yeah.
Because this old man would have died.
Great. Great.
Seriously.
Oh Lord. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention the fact that the mayor's daughter, goes into the bathroom to help unlock Harmon from the stall, and then the newspaper takes a picture of it, and nothing happens with it. By the way, nothing happens. Like, who cares? You expect like something to happen, but it doesn't. Although, I mean, Harmon does get suspended because of it. I think. I
For
don't
like 2
know.
seconds.
To help, because he's helping Hodgson, but like Harmon, like the mayor's daughter's like immediately smitten with this guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm fired now. And she's like, all right, well, we're gonna go out, I guess, or something for drinks.
Right. To have drinks. Yeah. Well, I guess it's for incompetence that he let Hodges go, like
Yeah.
got outsmarted and the
Well,
whole thing.
right.
Yeah.
They're saying that because the mayor and fucking Brown want those guys erased because they're
Correct.
trying to throw this fucking festival thing down at the lake, and they don't want people to get scared or close it down because Hodges is trying to shut it down just like Brody in Jaws.
Yeah.
So that's the whole
he
thing.
keeps saying like, "Oh well, I'll give you 12 hours, but like I'm gonna start
There's a
working
giant
now."
alligator.
Like he says that
Yeah.
like 5 times to like multiple characters. He's like, "Well, I'll give you some time, but I'm gonna start now." He keeps saying that to people. Like,
Yeah.
"All right, Hodges, we get it. You're taking care of it now."
Get me
Relax,
some
dude.
alligator hunters from
Yeah.
somewhere.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know
Calls,
any
calls in
alligator
the experts
hunters.
from fucking New Orleans.
I love his bodyguard. His bodyguard's reaction. He's like, "Get us me out." He's like, "Right now?" Like, yes, right now.
Oh
With a
yeah, that
real
whole back and
time.
forth is fantastic.
It's good. It's good.
It's so
He's like,
good.
I know you don't know any alligator hunters. Get some. And he's like, from where? Oh, okay.
Yeah, this guy has a very fun kind of presence. He kind of looks like that character you don't ever want to fuck with, but he's always portrayed as a dope. I mean, mostly because Vincent's treating him like shit.
Mhm.
Lynch gets him with a fucking banger when they meet for the first time. So good.
So the chief is very confused on why David was put on house arrest. He's like, he was as confused as I was. He's like, I don't think that's legal. I don't think he could do that. So I don't know what the hell's happening here.
He's kind of turning a blind eye. He's like, yeah, I don't know. Hodges is suspended or whatever.
Yeah.
He gets on the phone with Hodges, and Hodges is like, "I need a machine gun, a rocket launcher, 10 grenades,
No,
dynamite."
you don't
And
understand. I need a fucking grenade. I need grenades. I need an assault shotgun. I need all this shit. I need dynamite, baby.
He's like,
He's like, okay, I'll get it for you.
He's like, I was just talking to Wino Henry, and he was telling me about a gator that was using his friend Otis as a toothpick, and I need all these things. And he's like, oh, all right. And then this is right after he suspends Harmon. So then he's like, all right, Harmon, you don't have to be suspended anymore, but you have to help Hodges. And he's like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
I don't want to arrest you.
This is because like it turns out that like the mayor's daughter is like is the goddaughter of the chief.
Yep.
And then like Harmon and her are like walking and talking, and she's like she wants him to help her, and he's like, hey, can your pants get any tighter? And she goes, what? And he's like, you got a real nice backyard on you. And she's like, oh my god, that was the fucking hottest thing anybody's ever said to me in my whole life. You
wet.
get drunk and make out.
I'd
Yeah,
allow
that
you
really
to plow
turned
my
her on.
field, Mr. Officer.
Yeah.
I can just imagine somebody watching this movie going,
Saying.
I'm trying that. and it doesn't
This
work.
is guaranteed to work. No.
He's gonna get an over the pants hand job, maybe slip a ditch. Who knows?
The fucking punchline of all that is they go back to his apartment to fuck, and fucking Hodges is waiting for him. And he's like, "What? Are you drunk? What are you doing?
What are you drunk?" And he's like shaking.
He's like, "Go take a shower."
You got 5 minutes.
He's like, "How many drinks you had? Are you shopped? How's your reflexes?" And he like puts him in a fucking. He like turns his arm around and like bends his arm back, throws him up against the fucking jukebox.
He's like, "What the fuck is happening? You're in my house. Get out of here."
This guy was either in the Air Force or the Navy, or has a very strange obsession because he has like jet photos all over the walls. Like, I hope this guy was a pilot.
He's obsessed with Top Gun or Iron Eagle, whatever one was his preference.
Sean, if you came into my house and looked around and said, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy? What is he obsessed with? Killers and monsters?"
Well, I mean, it's a little different. I could see some nuance in your place or in the video dungeon. This guy's just jets and a fucking a karaoke machine.
Hey, some people are just not as I don't know what, decorated. But I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Do you think
diverse?
Hodges? What?
I think the word I was looking for was diverse.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking. I'm sorry. I was like, anyway.
No, you're good.
Do you think Hodges is just like, fuck you, Harmon, I'm gonna ruin your night. If I'm getting blue balled, everybody's getting blue balled.
I haven't fucked my wife in 3 days. You're not fucking. Nobody's fucking until this gate is dead.
He's like the abstinence police, just rolls the fuck up, like, put that dick up now. Pulls the gun out.
What I'm confused about is why would he be mad? Why would he be mad that the guy's getting some? He had his opportunity. It's not like he got turned down. He just didn't go for it, man.
He's got to get that alligator.
He's got to get the gator. He is
demon in his vitality to go kill that gator.
Wait a minute.
Rock hard.
Maybe he's onto something. He knows like how these movies work. If somebody has sex, they're gonna get eaten by the alligator. He's like, nobody can fuck while there's a gators on the loose. Yeah.
Well, he knew he needed some time to go meet up with his wife and switch jackets, so he couldn't wait for them to have sex. Like he had that shit timed out perfectly. He didn't want to ruin that suede jacket in the sewer. He needed his alligator hunting coat.
Yeah, well, that's why D. Wallace comes back to give him his gear,
his coat.
Here's this giant needle.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So guess what, guys? We find out the alligator is big because of chemicals. Wow.
No.
Isn't that mind blowing? We found that out.
Chemicals.
Whoa. Yeah. By what was
Future
it?
chemicals. So, like,
future
are they
chemicals,
from the future? Are they for the future?
This is the ooze. This is the ooze.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all.
And they were playing in the future.
It's like they wanted that plot line from the first one, but they didn't want to do any of the fucking world building. Like the first one has the whole thing with the medical lab, and like it's really interwoven with the plot with Dean Yeager. But it's like, well, the alligator's got to be huge, so fuck it, chemical waste.
Yeah.
Well, the first one makes sense because it's like, oh, what are they doing? Testing this illegal drugs on animals. And then dumping the animals, and then the alligator eats the animals, and then in turn becomes huge. It's not like they're dumping chemicals down there.
Yeah, because we have the scene with the giant dog. Like he's like, oh yeah, this is like a Pomeranian. They're not normally this size.
Fit this dog a week ago.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But it's more like Killer Crocodile. Like if you've ever seen those movies where they're just dumping barrels of shit into the swamp, and then there's just a giant crocodile. So it's similar.
Normal.
So how come these animals don't become like humanoid like the turtles? Like they just get big. Oh, different chemicals.
That's because TCRI was like that's in the next sewer over. This is future chemicals, and then there's TCRI in the other one.
So
the next one over is T-virus. Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, not that one.
William Birkin Hunk steps on it in the sewer. It's a whole thing.
So so instead of is this the crocodile from Resident Evil 2?
Different ancestor.
It's like his brother.
Okay, I got it. So they stole their idea from Umbrella, which was right next door. So they're like the great value umbrella.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh
no.
Leon Kennedy's there with the gas tank or the oxygen tank, whatever it is.
Jaws reference. I'm sorry.
So
or from the new one where he just eats a pipe and then it explodes. The
Smile,
whole fucking
you son
pipe.
of a bitch. Yeah.
The whole pipe.
That's what happens in the second one. He throws the pipe
stupid.
and you shoot it.
It's like an electrical line, but it still makes no fucking sense.
What?
How is Chief Brody alive?
What are we talking about, Dan? Are you talking about Jaws 2?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Resident Evil.
Oh,
I'm talking about
Resident
Jaws
Evil.
2. I've lost
No,
the
no.
plot, guys.
No.
Sorry.
No, remember, in Jaws 2, the shark was trying to protect Brody because Brody was holding the electrical cable. He's like, no, sir, you don't have protective equipment for that. And then bit the line and then died.
Got you. I don't remember Resident Evil 2.
Yes,
I
we
seen
have
that once like 15 fucking years ago. Sorry.
It's like an alternate route you could take with Leon, and there's an alligator down there.
Yeah, if you do, if the
wall and shoot the
yeah, and in the remake,
close
it's just a chase scene, and the alligator looks cool as fuck, and he just goes down this like chute, and his mouth hits the like a gas line, and you shoot it.
Oh, you mean the actual game? I'm thinking of the
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, the movie sucked.
We don't need to
It
talk
ruined
about
it
those.
for me.
Thanks, Paul W.S. Anderson.
I'm with you
yes,
now.
man.
I'm
Okay,
back.
sorry. I'm sorry. That's a lot, like
We
different
made it, we made
ideas.
We're in the deadlights now.
Close your eyes. Don't look into the light.
Can't help it.
It's so beautiful.
Oh man, so we meet our hunter Hawkins and his posse. Yeah, Hawk Hawkins. I'm just gonna say that. And in this scene, he has that deep Cajun accent.
It's good.
It's good in this scene, and then in the rest of the movie, he doesn't have it.
Like my name's Hawkins. You can call me Hawk, and I'm here to get that gator.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
But then the rest of the movie, he just has a Southern accent. He doesn't have the Cajun accent anymore. Like it changes. I was like, wait, did he have the accent when we first meet? Like I was confused if he had the accent initially, and then
Parker, there was no time for a second take, my man. They were just like, fuck it, we're going, moving on. We got it.
$3 million. That's all we got.
Yeah.
How Cajun do you want me to be? Well, the first scene was a little heavy. I want you to be like you work at a Popeyes in Nashville.
Yeah. Are you at a Popeyes? Are you on Swamp People? Where are we going?
I'll get you, Gator Man.
Yeah, Swamp People. You're gonna need if it's that one, then you need the subtitles.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shoot him.
Yes.
Shoot him.
Shoot her! Sorry.
Exactly. I was just saying this is where Kane Hodder also appears as like brother Ben or some shit.
No,
Billy.
he is Billy.
He's
Billy
he's
Boy.
literally fucking Bayou Billy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Like the game?
No, I don't know.
That's great. That'd be cool if he was the shark. Fuck. If he was the gator and this character, so he just eats himself.
That'd be so
like
good.
the tail Ouroboros style. Yeah.
Yes.
He picks up his arm and it's just like one gator foot. Like
this is good luck for me. Good luck. So Hodges and Harmon, they go down to the sewer and they're doing it's very cartoonish because they're both like creeping, like looking down this one hallway, and the alligator's just behind them, like and they stop. They stop, yeah, and then they turn around and see like whoa, and then they run away.
Starts playing like yakety sack.
Yeah, oh my god. This is kind of like my biggest problem with this movie, honestly, is kind of where these scenes start to happen. Because like the first movie, there's like maybe one or two scenes where I think the scale doesn't work, but like 95% of that movie they nail it. This one, it's like all these sewer shots are fucking horrible. Like I don't know, maybe it's just this alligator footage is bad, but it's like I looked it up. Alligators can run 20 miles per hour. Humans can run like 5. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to be overly semantic about the Mutation Alligator fucking giant movie. But it's like, there's no way this thing is this fucking close to them. And then they notice it when they turn around and they're getting away. There's no fucking way. There's at least in the first movie, they have some distance.
The thing is in reality.
There's also no space for these scenes. Like, it's just like, is there an alligator? We know there's an alligator, but we're going down there anyway. And look, there's the alligator. Let's get out of here. And it's like, okie
Right. Well, it's like kind of just like, all right, is this thing even actually a threat? Because you guys are very easily getting away from it every time.
Well, in the first one, it kills his partner. It eats that fucking dude, the blonde guy.
Kelly,
and there's like weight to that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think when they would
like holy shit.
Yeah, because when they would show the gator's mouth like under the water, or like when he attacks the homeless guy, it looks big. Like it looks like the stature of it is like, oh shit, that's a massive alligator. When they show it in the sewer, it's a real alligator, but they don't scale it to make it look big. It just looks like a regular size. Like this is probably like a 10-foot, 11-foot gator. So it's like it's not imposing because when you like if you see like gators average around 15, 16 feet normally, though, and their heads are like massive. Like you can tell what a massive gator looks like. This didn't look big. It just looked like some normal gator. Just it didn't look. I agree with Sean. It didn't look right, and I think it was the scaling issue.
It's the perspective that they were doing it, wasn't selling it.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. They had to figure that. They figured it out in the first one. They couldn't lock it down in this one.
On a golf course. Gator golf, give it a whack.
Damn it!
Gator golf will throw
I've
it
been
right back.
saying that the whole time.
Oh, the game,
nothing's great.
Game?
Yeah, nothing's greater than golf with a gator. Gator golf.
Nothing is greater than golf with a gator golf.
Yep. Yes.
I've been singing it the whole time.
Was it the crocodile dentist? Is that what that was?
Yes.
Oh, that.
Yes.
My son, my son got the lion one. There's a lion one too. My son got that for Christmas.
we have a knockoff Godzilla one.
That's cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Great.
That's cool.
You know, they're
but it's always
I don't have teeth and no toothbrush.
Yeah.
I do like this scene though when they're running away, guys.
Oh,
God. When they're running away, they kind of come to like this this kind of like curve in the sewer, and there's like this little, for lack of a better term, window. Or I guess it's like a porthole, so that if the water gets high,
overflow.
Yeah. So they crawl through this. This is kind of a cinema sin. Sometimes it works, but I was like, I can't believe they fucking did this. This 180 fucking turn on the camera to try to make it look like they went over it. Oh yeah, it's a low budget film. I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, that was kind of impressive to make that work, but I was like, I needed like one more shot in between that. If you guys know what I'm talking.
Hey guys, this is the same tunnel, just at a different angle. Yeah, no, I felt the same way. Literally in my notes, it just says, "Do all the tunnels look the same?"
It's just awkward. It's
awkward.
awkward.
They're all concrete.
Yeah, so they start.
He's lobbing grenades over the fucking wall.
Grenades, dynamite, nothing's happening.
Everything's fine.
Blowing shit up under the fucking city. Like, there's gonna be a cave in. There's gonna be a sinkhole. Something's gonna get fucked up.
They'll be fine.
What's repercussions?
Dynamite does nothing, but then they're like, "Oh shit, it's breaking through the wall! Run!" I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, that's when they show the real gator breaking through this cardboard wall, and it just, I'm like, "Oh, all right."
I love it so much, dude. I fucking love it.
I didn't mind that as much. It's just those sewer shots just don't do it any service.
Yeah, out of all of the real gator shots, the one of the gator going through the wall is probably the best. So yeah, they're like, "Oh, we got to get out of here." Because nothing's working. And then they find out that the hunters are down in the sewers as well, hunting the gators. Hodges hasn't met a single one of these guys, but yeah, in like 3 seconds, he'll become best friends with Hawkins. And so he's like, we got to get him out of there because it's going to go back to its nest. Well, that's where they are. They're in its nest.
That's a big nest down here.
Yep.
It's like did the gator drag the fucking thistles or whatever the fuck into this place?
That's why there isn't any at the lake earlier.
Yeah, he grabbed all the reeds. He's like, these will look good in this corner. These will look good in this corner.
This is some feng shui
down here. Okay,
you gotta get that feng shui.
I was like, what inherently makes this a gator?
Feng shui.
Like, I'm not like a gator expert. What inherently makes?
You know about feng shui, Cap? You know about feng shui? Got a nice fish, big fucking eyes, nice fucking fish.
Carry on.
Oh,
what you were saying, Dan. I think what you were gonna say. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like, what makes it a gator? A nest? I guess like if you ever watched nature documentaries about that, it does kind of look exactly like what you see. But it is like what you guys are saying. It's like how the fuck they get all those thistles in there, and those giant ass ones too, by the way. Well, because like the second that the hunters go in there, they know that something's off. Like Lynch is even kind of like, "Ooh, this looks weird. This doesn't look normal."
Well, gators don't nest in water; they nest on land. Like when they lay eggs on the land.
Out of the
no, they don't even build. They don't even build nests. They just go onto they go onto land and just dig a hole like a turtle, and they just lay their eggs in there. And then they cover it with dirt and leaves and all that shit. And then they go back in the water and they kind of like patrol the area that's near the nest. But
they definitely hide it in like thistles and brush.
I mean, alligators can literally dive to the bottom of a lake and sit there for 24 hours and not have to come up for air. Like that's the funniest thing about like these large animal movies, especially reptile movies, like, Lake Placid and stuff. Is like in Lake Placid they explain, why haven't we seen this thing? And they're just like, well, but that's because crocodiles can literally stay underwater for a long time, and when it's cold out, their body temperature shoots down to the point where their blood, like their heart barely pumps, so they're like immobile. Like I don't know if you guys have seen pictures of alligators frozen in lakes down in Florida during this last like month. They literally will swim when they realize that they can't, that thing's going to freeze over. They'll swim to the top just so their nose is poking out, and they'll freeze over, and they're still alive. Turtles hibernate in the water during the winter. They'll literally swim to the bottom, and they freeze, and their body just, their heart just pumps slow enough for them to survive that long. Reptiles are crazy.
What are you talking about, dude? They pull into their shell, and they have like a little bed inside.
They got a TMNT arcade game in there. Yeah.
Not quite where I thought you were going to go with it. I thought you were going to like turtle shell, like Gamera, and they like fly somewhere south.
Going to space, on holiday,
yeah. There's a little kid yelling, Gamera, Gamera.
Yep.
I have a psychic link with you or something.
Yeah, dude. Oh God, the fucking song. Good Lord.
Oh, side note, because I actually watched Gamer for the first time. Pretty good, actually.
Which one?
Know what the fucking the original, what the Mothra song is, and I just want to say on that Mecha Godzilla episode, I sound like an asshole because I'm watching those Mothra movies. I'm like, how did I not remember this? Like I've seen these before when it's just Mothra, because like Angela said she sang it every time, and I was like, oh, that was impressive. If you knew the Japanese, I'm watching the movie. I'm like, oh, it's all in English. Oh, now I get it. 30 years later. Anyway, sorry. Side tangent.
It's all good, dude.
So yeah, there's chaos down in the nest, and a bunch of Hawkins boys get killed. The Gator literally grabs onto the ladder to like get out and just rips it off the wall. You think Hawkins dies, but then Hodges hops in there and saves his ass. Rips him out of there. Yeah.
That guy gets bitten in half. Kane Hodder gets his face eaten.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it was three of them that died.
All the other guys get fucked up.
Yeah. And then one of them survives.
Now Hawkins has a vendetta against this alligator.
Yep.
Well, this alligator's slow as fuck, though. I don't know how it even got those three other guys, because it's like the guy's feet are here and the alligator's like coming towards it. His feet go, missed again.
Yep.
I've been flummoxed.
Oh, man. Yeah, we see Brown. He's being just a boring ass villain. He doesn't do anything in this movie other than just he's just generic. Yeah, he does kill the mayor. That's like the only like, oh my god, like moment of the movie with this guy.
Fucking
Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel ride.
Yeah, that was so stupid though.
Well, he kills the police chief, I guess.
Yeah, he drives him off the road with the mayor in the limo. He drives the chief into an accident. The funny thing is, no one says anything about him. No one says he died. They just assume.
No, they later. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is for whoever this fucking name is. This is for whatever his name. The mayor says that. They're gonna do this for what's his name?
Fucking Groundhog Day. Yeah, he'll probably be okay.
His vehicle just got like, dude, he's probably fine. Like, it's not like the roof was collapsed. He didn't roll like that hard. He didn't beat the fuck up.
That fucking car rolled like 20 times down that hill, dude.
Yeah,
I'd be all right. That buff out.
That whole scene. That whole scene was hilarious of them like driving side by side, and they go over that hill and they're going down and they're like next to each other and they're like,
hit the fucking brakes.
Yeah.
What is with this in movies? This happens in so many movies, action movies and horror movies especially, where people, I know then the movie just doesn't happen. I'm not an ass. I get it. But it's like, hit the fucking brakes, chief, and said, "Boop, dead." But it's like,
keep going.
I was gonna say the whole reason they even do that is because when they're leaving the sewer, they set this fucking bomb off that does nothing, and that's when they find out this thing's indestructible or something.
He ate it.
That's later.
The alligator ate my brakes.
Maybe you're right. They fight this fucking thing a few times, so maybe I'm kind of misremembering that. But they have like a meeting with all the main characters, with the chief and the women and the men, and everyone's like, "I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with you." And there's like a whole debate, and that's when the chief is kind of on their side, and that's why they kill him, I guess. It's kind of
because he finally believes Hodges, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go help you out. I'm gonna go get you what you need." And that's when Brown's like, "Not on my watch." Driver, run this man off the road.
Like they bump, but you don't actually ever see the vehicles hit. You just hear the sound effect for it.
Wait, so who's driving this? Is this his Russian bodyguard?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And the mayor's in the car freaking out the whole time.
I know. It's
a shot.
oh, don't worry, you're at a Lincoln, you're fine. Like this other car just
it's
fucked.
a commercial for Lincoln, yeah.
He's just taking out this Chrysler St. Regis or whatever.
Product placement.
So,
oh God.
so we forgot to mention the fact that they're like that Brown is organizing this like carnival that
Yeah, I mentioned it before because like that's like the thing that's gonna save the town or some shit.
it's the regatta from Jaws. That's pretty much what
Yeah,
this carnival
straight up.
is. Yeah, and he's trying to like push people out of their houses because there's like a Latina community that's in that area. We also met a guy named Ruben who's like the head of the gang that's in that area.
Crazy Boys.
Yeah, the Crazy Boys. Yep.
Yeah, I
This
like
movie's
him.
just-
He's a good side
Okay.
character.
This
He looks
movie's
like
just
David
racist.
Boreanaz.
Yeah, kinda. He looks familiar.
Yeah.
Like I've seen him in something else.
It
But
was
anyway, I think this movie. Oh, good.
Go ahead.
I was saying this movie's just racist as fuck. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Well,
Hold on.
it is, but it also has a point. It's like all the evil characters are racist.
Yeah, yes. Not the movie.
Not the movie itself.
If I get rid of the Hispanics minorities, it'll be a better place. But like,
Yeah.
the Hispanic people are like they call what's his name, Hodges,
Hodges,
Solo
right.
Lobo. Like they look up to him. He kind of looks out for him and shit like that. Like I kind of like.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. Maybe I don't watch enough movies, but they don't really see as much into the Hispanic community in most movies I see. Maybe I just don't watch the right movies. So it's kind of neat that they focus on that. So.
Yeah.
Here's the twist: the alligator was racist the whole time.
Well, he doesn't actually
For
kill any
white people,
Spanish
it's like
people.
fuck them white people.
Yeah. Another problem with this movie, this alligator doesn't really get released off the chain until like the last 20 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, it kills those hunters. I take that back. I forgot.
Maybe it runs in the movies because he eats a lot of fucking white people in the first movie too. Just saying,
Oh,
the guy
yeah.
likes
Well,
crackers.
that fucking barbecue scene, dude, is so good in that first movie.
Oh, that
Everything
wedding,
crazy.
that wedding reception.
a great scene,
Oh,
dude.
is the best.
Yeah.
I always
It's
feel
the
bad
best.
for the waiters and then the all the people that aren't there for the wedding. People working the wedding getting eaten. I'm like, what the fuck did they do? They're working minimum wage getting eaten.
I'm pissed about the cake.
Dude.
What about the fucking cake?
I just love
I
the
asked to
groom
be
who
in
gets
that
thrown into the pool.
mansion. I'd be in that mansion taking all the shit and then fucking running the other way while the alligator was eating
really.
it. But-
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
You
Get
saw
all the
nothing.
thing of little hot dogs. Like, oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Deviled eggs, just shoving them in your mouth.
yes.
That's you.
That would be me.
Oh,
I'm all about the deviled eggs. Give me all of them.
Pockets just full of deviled eggs. Like, that's not right, sir. Like, I need them.
I'd be the guy going, "Who put capers on these things? Get that shit out of here!" Oh,
Throw him the
man.
alligator.
Eat it. And he's like, "Oh, capers, gross."
That's how you defeat 'em.
Deviled eggs.
So yeah, they're setting up explosives in the sewers. Ruben, the character we just mentioned, he's standing up to Brown. He's like, "You're a little bitch. I'm not. We're not going anywhere." And he's just like, "Ugh. Well, I'm gonna do something about it." And then
I'm gonna
run.
shoot you in the face.
Yeah, pretty much. And he goes to the mayor, who's like super sad on the bench. He's like, "What's the matter?" He's like, "Well, you just killed my friend."
Let's go
We just
on a
ran him
Ferris
off on the
wheel
road.
ride
Yeah, we're gonna go have a talk.
on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Yay!
And they have then they have a conversation, and that's when the mayor's like, "I'm not doing any of this bad stuff with you anymore. I quit." And he's like, "Oh yeah," boom, and shoots him right in the stomach.
I'm gonna use
With
your
golden
stomach.
Fucking PP7, dude, that he pulls out.
Dude, what? This doesn't make any sound. Like he
He's
doesn't
like
have a silencer on this thing. He doesn't have a pillow muffling it. He just shoots him, and it goes. And I was like, "What?"
But it's like, people are just around. Nobody was like, "Hey, did you hear that?"
Right. Exactly.
It must have been LA because nobody blinks a fucking eye.
Somebody just turns around. Do you hear a golden PP7?
It's just a major fucking plot hole. It makes no sense. It's
Oh
like,
my
okay, like
God.
if you wanted to kill the mayor, take him into a dark room. Don't kill him on a fucking Ferris
That's
wheel. Like,
so
they're gonna
funny.
find that.
Yeah, he literally
when he
gets off that cart, and people are like, "That
Yeah.
man's
So
okay
when
over
he
there. What's wrong with him?"
Yeah, he's
When
just
he
sleeping.
stopped,
Bleeding
and he
out.
just, like, get up and like left the mayor in the cart and just like walked away. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
It's like,
going for another ride.
The Ferris wheel dude, stop at the top.
And like joking about that there was no sound for the pistol. It's like this movie also doesn't have muzzle flashes when they're firing the machine guns, and so it's like I think they just didn't. Again, not to keep bringing up budget, but I have to imagine they just didn't have the money for it. Otherwise, what the fuck happened there?
Dude,
There was,
just
there was muzzle flash for the shotguns.
Well, not for those machine guns, because I looked. I was like, I didn't see anything coming off the tip of that rifle when he's firing it. Maybe.
When did they shoot machine guns?
They fire many guns. I don't ask me to
I
quote
thought it
me.
was just like
I don't
some
know anything
shotguns
about
in
guns,
the
Joe. I'm just saying guns were fired. Where's Stevie Smith to yell at me?
That pistol would have never cycled, and you can't use somebody's stomach as a suppressor either. So so like with a revolver, you can place it against somebody's body and shoot, and it's going to cycle. A pistol, it will not do that. If you shove it against somebody's shot and try to pull the trigger, you're actually taking out a battery. And if you manage to get it to fire, it's not going to go back into battery. It's not how it works.
And I guess like with that whole side tangent, they obviously wouldn't see a muzzle flash in that scene. I just in other scenes prior when they're fighting the fucking alligator in the sewer, there's a couple scenes where you're like, are they actually shooting that, or is it just sound effects?
But again, like I just figured he would have disposed of him, like Joe said, in a much better fashion. Like, why here? Why now?
Why on the fucking Ferris wheel, dude? Like,
who knows?
After he yelled at like the radio guy to get more people in there because they were like dying, they had nobody there. He's like, "Get more people in there! I'm giving away $100."
He's like, "What am I paying you for?" And he's like, "What do you want me to do? I can't force people. I'm just doing my job. And they hear it, they'll come. If not, then I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you."
I know to keep people around this fucking dead body.
I wonder if he's okay.
Gunshots and corpses. That'll bring him in.
So yeah, they face off with the gator. The gator eats some of the explosives. They don't go off, and they're like, "All right, well, I guess we got to stop the gator from going to the lake before it blows up a bunch of people." Oh no, it took the batteries from the detonator. What do we do now? Whoa!
Chase him through the sewer because he's going to the lake because he's missing out on that fucking party. Nobody called him. That's why he's pissed. He didn't get an invite.
It's so good. I love it though when they show the gator in the pond and it's just floating straight. There's no movement with this gator. He's just floating. And I love it. It's fantastic.
I want to get like an RC version of that.
Yes. I had when I was a kid, it wasn't one that could go in the water, but I had a crocodile that had like a little cable to it that I could walk. And it all like mouth could open tail. It was a Crocodile Hunter themed one.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was like early 2000s Crocodile Hunter, Steve Irwin and all that. They released like a huge like toy line of different things. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
At Target, I think they have like a snake, a shark, and a gator, I think.
Yeah, I had a couple, like there were sharks like about this big that you could put in like your bathtub and they would swim around. They're pretty cool. So Chris brings some chemicals to help kill the gator. This is the wife, by the way. This is Dee Wallace's character's name, by the way. I didn't even mention that was her name. But she brings a needle with some chemicals, and they're like, "Yeah, so you got to get it under his chin because you can't do it on the top because it's like he's got armor there." And
Maloney just takes the cork right off, and he's like, "Wait, you just what is this? A bunch of deadly poison?"
He's like, "Is there an antidote? What? You mean if you accidentally shoot yourself? Don't do that. Why? You should be dead before you realize you made a mistake." Fucking love that movie so much.
So good. Nick Van Owen, don't shoot yourself in the fucking foot, man. You'd be dead before you knew you had an accident.
Yep.
Sorry.
God, Lost World.
Of Conus Papyrosus or whatever.
God,
we didn't do Lost World again, dude. We didn't do
Sarah
Harding.
How many Sarahs do you think are in this jungle?
do you guys need anything? Double cheeseburger, no onions on mine. An apple turnover.
Hanging off the fucking cliff.
God, that movie's great. I don't care.
So fucking good, dude. So it's my favorite, hands down.
So the party.
It's okay. It's okay. I respect this man's opinion. It's okay.
First one. Pretty good.
The first one's fantastic.
One of the best movies ever made.
100%.
Downhill from there.
Dude, listen. You like 3?
I like 3.
I like the first 4. I just
dude, one looks great.
Once I watched Jurassic World and then I watched Fallen Kingdom, I'm like, man, Jurassic Park 3 was really good.
Then I watched Dominion and went, what happened?
What are you doing?
Why are we doing this?
Why are there
looks fucking great.
Why are there bugs? I'm very confused why there's fucking bugs in this one.
I'm here for the dinosaurs. I don't give a shit about locusts and the
just go watch the beginning of the end.
By a crop killing bugs. Anyway.
Yep. Yeah, if you want to watch giant bugs, locusts eat Chicago, watch beginning of the end. Boom.
Yeah,
Problem solved.
or you can watch the fucking, what is it? The giant mantis? What is it? Whatever that.
Yeah.
is.
Deadly Mantis. Yep. That's a great one. That's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great advertisement for the U.S. Air Force. Carry on.
All right. So yeah, the party grows. Brown and the mayor have a chat. Yeah, he gets killed. We already talked about that. This gator swims towards the carnival, and then he starts rampaging the carnival. He just starts attacking people that are just having a good time,
But not eating anybody.
No, he's just attacking. He's just wandering down the path.
Guys, he's not attacking. He just wants to hang out at the party. He wants to get some hot dogs, some cotton candy. He wants to run the fucking carousel. That's all. Everybody's
Have fun
scared and
too.
running.
He's already eaten. You can only eat so much.
He's full.
He does
He needs
kind of.
dessert.
Yes. And he does kind of eat one person because
Kinda.
Brown's bodyguard like trips and falls into his mouth.
Who he like knows he's a
Oh.
bad guy or whatever. He's like, oh, that's that
He's like, I'll bite down on this one. This one seems acceptable.
Yeah.
Then
I love the fucking unicycle guy. He's my favorite.
Which guy?
The guy riding around on the giant unicycle.
oh yeah, just like man, that's talent right there. I could
And
never
like
do that.
Chick, like singing the song with the dude with the synthesizer.
Yeah.
I like the big strong man dude did the
Oh,
test of strength. He like gets knocked over by the gator, and then like you can see him get up in the background. I don't think he was supposed to. He just kind of like stands back up like
He's like,
fine.
I'm big, I'm strong, I don't get knocked down.
he looks like what's his face from American Gladiators. The dude with the long hair. Oh, what the fuck's his name?
I thought they all had long hair.
It's like he's
At one time they all did.
really like the surfer guy.
Oh, I don't
shit.
remember. I just played the game.
Yeah,
I vaguely remember it on TV.
the guy at
So
the carnival
cool.
looks like a fucking like WWF like bendy wrestler. Like
He had so many of those.
Wrestling.
So
buddies.
yeah, so the gator gets one final snack, and that is Mr. Brown, because he tries to get tough with Ruben and his gang, and then he gets knocked into the water, and the gator's like, nom nom. And this is like the most violent part of the movie, by the way. Like, there's a lot of blood in this one scene. I was like, oh, all right, this is
definitely the bloodiest. Yeah.
yeah.
This is like the whole town watches. It's like a coliseum
Everybody-
fight.
Everybody's like,
They're like, yeah, they're clapping. It's like no one's gonna admit that who pushed him, right? He just fell, right? Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
we saw nothing.
in the background, somebody's like, grab his dick and twist. Oh god.
I mean, nobody
Sir,
liked
this is a-
guy.
Sir, this is wrestling.
Nobody
just
liked
like,
this
"Oh,
guy,
it's
but they're
a
just
really
watching him
giant
being
alligator."
ripped apart.
Hey, dude, people like gladiatorial events, man.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Hangings, executions, man. Fuck it. Just let him fight an alligator now.
Dude, he's a
Isn't that
scumbag
what
like
some-
Brian.
That's true. He deserved it.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, he did.
So we get one final showdown as Hawkins and Hawkins, David, and Harmon jump into this little tiny boat to go kill it with the needle that he got from his wife.
Yeah.
And they get
Did Hodges go, well, we need a smaller boat, guys. Like,
Yeah.
the smallest fucking boat they can
there's
find.
a helicopter is just like there. They get knocked into the water. Hawkins gets grabbed by the gator, and he's just stabbing it repeatedly as the
I
gator's
got
like
his
giving
ass.
giving him the death roll.
I love how the
So
helicopter
fucking
has
good,
no
dude, with, like, a
ladder.
machete.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, no ladder. He's got to get close enough so you could just grab the.
Yeah.
It would fall instantly.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but those aren't like rails like this big. They're like boom.
And
I gotta
100
grip
mile an
that?
hour wind.
Yeah, I've seen movies where guys are just one arm in that. Oh, I'm fine.
Do you
This
think
guy
they took
definitely
this? Do
isn't.
you think they took this idea in Lake Placid, where the alligator grabs the helicopter?
Yeah, but does the gator
Rock
grab
was
the helicopter in this one? No.
He's just saying.
No,
man.
but like the idea of like
Oh.
escaping, and like it,
Maybe.
and then Lake
Maybe.
Placid.
I mean, it was a Steve Miner movie, so he was probably watching this going.
happened
got
in
an
Jaws
idea.
too. Doesn't he bite the?
Yeah,
the
he
boat
texts
or the
text the
plane, I mean?
helicopter. No, he texts the helicopter.
That's right. He's like, "Sir, don't take off. There's a fuel leak."
He grabs because it's one of those ones that can land on the water, so it grabs the
Yeah.
thing and pops it.
Don't they do that in Jaws 4 too? Am I crazy?
No, it
Michael
bites a
Caine.
banana boat. Oh yeah, he attacks Michael Caine's plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does. That's right. That's right.
All these animals are just trying to help.
No, 2 specifically is all a misunderstanding.
It is. They're just trying to help.
I'm telling you, the next time you watch Jaws 2, just think of it as all a misunderstanding. The shark's trying to help people. The humans are getting it killed. But it only has teeth. It doesn't have hands. It doesn't know how to...
That's why the woman who's pouring the gasoline on herself.
She's like, ma'am, stop. That's not lotion. And like, it just, And the guy was off the boat. He tried to bring him back.
Yeah, and then Jaws 4 was the revenge story. He's like, fuck this.
No, that shark. They thought that shark was actually going for revenge, but it was actually the shark just wanted to go on a vacation, and he just ended up running into Ellen Brody and is like, son of a bitch.
Funny meeting you and Mario Van Peebles here.
Wow. Hey, is that Marvin Van Peebles too? Holy shit. All the Van Peebles are here.
Decided to show up. That's
Michael Caine with his name alone makes him the best character in the movie. His name is Hoagie.
Mrs. I love Brody. I saw the shark the size of a building.
He literally is the best part of that movie.
It's so good. I fucking love it.
I know Ross Schreider's dead and he wouldn't do the movie, but I'm here.
Paid for his mother's house.
Oh, good old Lorraine. Good old Lorraine Gary. The only reason she ever got that role is because she was married to the president of Universal.
There you go.
So yeah, final showdown happens. He gets the chemicals into the gator. The gator shrieks. It's like, Meh! And I was like, I don't think that's
normal.
Oh, the gators make that sound. Like, what's happening? Yes.
Fucking Orca comes back.
Yeah, it's the end of Orca.
Or wasn't it the duel? Didn't the truck like roar at the end of Duel?
Well, no, then they reuse that sound for the end of Jaws when the shark blows up.
Yeah,
100%.
Yep.
So it was a bit of a trope at the time. It's just kind of funny to look at now. Like, okay, it made that sound, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, in Jaws: The Revenge, the shark actually roars every time they use that little beep, and it just like every time.
It's very difficult to kill. Oh yeah, it's very difficult to kill that boss in the end of the NES game. I'm just letting you know. Once you collect the 800 magic conches, you gotta just shock him and stab his ass with the boat, and then you win.
Oh god! Well, they kill.
They get these bazookas, dude. They go down with fucking rocket launchers into the sewer. It's the coolest shit ever.
Resident Evil.
Man. Yep, and they blow this thing up, and the best is when they blow it up and the whole bottom of the jaw just flies up in the air. I'm like, holy shit, that is awesome.
And like there's a piece of like the prop head that like pulls and rips and it looks like flesh. Yeah. It was fucking wonderful. It was like one of the best shots in the whole movie.
They shoot 2 rockets in the sewer, and the first one misses. If that missed and then exploded in the fucking sewer, everything would come down around them.
They are way too close. They're like standing next to each other with these rocket launchers. I'm like, if one of you like shoots this, if it like pops out of the water, you have no other weapon. You're just gonna shoot if it's like a foot from you.
Well, my favorite thing is like my favorite thing is they're on the helicopter, and there's like, all right, we're gonna use these. Do you know how to use it? No. My biggest question is what end does it come out of? I'm like, oh god, imagine that.
That would have been that way. Better thing if when they shot it, it went backwards the first time, and shit,
they die. The gator wins. Movie over.
It,
you know? No, I just
thought towards enemy, right?
I just thought of Dead Rising. Do you know how to use this? Kinda. I've covered wars before. My dad said those are very interesting to fire. My dad was in the military around a little bit before this. I think this is a light anti-tank weapon, and just don't stand behind them. That's the that backblast to fuck you up.
Yeah, no thanks. So the gator's dead, and then everybody's chanting "Solo Lobo, Solo Lobo." Everybody's happy, and then and also I love that Ruben goes up. He's like, "Hey, Brown is dead. Take that sign down." And so they're like, yeah. And then the movie ends.
They string up what's left of his body and like parade it for everybody.
The bloody jacket.
I have a vivid memory of watching this on television, and I don't know TV cut, but I remember there being like a clutch of eggs at the end of this movie.
Why? I feel like there's just it's embedded in your head because there's so many monster movies that do that. Godzilla '98 did that shit.
I know, but I feel like there is. I feel like there might be like a TV.
No,
version
isn't that how Alligator 1 ended? There was a Gator egg, right? And then a Gator comes out.
Yeah.
It's like another.
No.
It's like another.
Oh, that's right. Another gator gets flushed. Yeah, it's not an actual egg.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like, "Uh-oh, Alligator 2."
Uh-oh. It's okay. We got like
Mutation.
6 Lake Placids. We didn't get any more alligators though, unfortunately.
There definitely is an alligator or crocodile movie with that ending, Joe, because I can kind of picture it myself. It's got to exist, right?
Like I said, there's probably a bunch of monster movies that ended that way, where you're just like, oh, here's a sequel coming, and then they never got one.
Thought for an alternate ending. All right. So it's what the fuck's the guy's name?
I don't know.
What was the main guy's name?
Hodges.
Joey Baloney.
Hodges.
Joey Baloney.
Joey Baloney, not Tony Baloney. Joey Baloney. And then his fucking sidekick. They go down to the sewer, right? No, fuck it. They're on the lake. Everybody's injured, but only Joey Baloney just takes all of his shit off. Just takes his shirt off, has his pants on. He's jacked as shit. Like rakes the knife across his chest. Pulls out the syringe and just tackles the fucking gator. The lake. Yeah, the lake is on fire, like circled in flames or something.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
into it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. Yeah.
Get the alligator.
Have it in the throat with the needle.
Don't miss.
Like, I love, just real quick, I love how Dee Wallace runs up with that fucking shit. It's like this toxin that she puts in this thing, and she's like, "Yeah, if you could stab it," and he's like, "Oh, is it gonna kill it?" He's like, "I don't know," and he's like, "Well, we'll help it explode," and he's like, "I don't know. Yes."
Maybe.
I feel like it was just. I feel like it was just her being like, "I need to get the fuck out of this movie. Just
Like,
get me out of
okay.
here."
Also,
the button
yeah.
just ran out for me. I gotta go.
Speaking of, I just remembered that detail. Forget the fucking rocket launchers. It has a fucking bomb inside it filled with dynamite. Also, they should be fucking hamburger, like the end of Good Burger. They should be that shit that's on the end of on the walls of Mondo Burger. They should just be a fucking grease stain. He should not be going up back on the surface level to fuck his wife. He should be dead.
It's just like in the first one when it explodes and all the fucking sewer caps blow off and all the sewer like gets filled with fire and shit.
Right. You would think, right?
No.
Not this time.
Do you think he just
even though this thing was made of adamantium or something?
It has
all
to
those
be.
future chemicals, dude. They give you extra strength.
Do you
I
think
guess so.
these chemicals are somehow related to the Project Metal Beast?
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe, yeah.
So that's how it's like invulnerable.
Yeah.
It's got like a metal inner like a layer of metal skin underneath its.
It helps.
It's definitely
it helps
possible.
and grow and turn into fucking metal. Absolutely, 100%.
Well, that is it, everybody. That is the end of Alligator 2: The Mutation. Now it's time to go around the room and share what we thought of the movie. And we're going to start over with Sean.
I thought this was actually like not that good, but I liked it. It was one of those for me. There's just a lot of like scenes throughout this that I was cracking up at or was like kind of like into, but just the whole movie just doesn't totally come together for me. But just those characters, Hawkins and Hodges, are just really fucking funny. And I kind of like some of the action with the alligator. It's just some of it is just so kind of like repetitive from the first movie or literal shots from the first movie, where I just wanted more outside of that, like I was gonna say fight, but the part when he eats the people in the nest, or it eats the people in the nest, I should say. There's really just not a lot of alligator killing things in this movie. Not that you need that, but it is a fucking giant alligator movie, so I'm gonna say maybe you kind of do. And again, not to always just compare to the original, but it's a fucking sequel. It's hard not to. That first one just has a lot of original ways that it makes or has the alligator kill people. It's not just, it just doesn't just eat people. It does actually kill people with the tail. It doesn't just knock them briefly to the side like this film. I was kind of hoping some more people would get killed that way, but I guess it's left ambiguous. It's definitely one I would recommend seeing if you saw Alligator. Like, don't wait as long as I did. Just fucking watch it, and kind of make your own opinion on it. But not one I'm going to go back to, but I don't hate it at all. I would definitely put it on in the background. I think someone said that earlier, maybe when some friends are over, or if you do that double feature, maybe.
Joe?
I love this one. It's not the first movie, so don't look for that. I mean, the first one is how you do a creature feature. I mean, it's really well written and well put together, and it's a big shoe to fill. It's a big giant alligator shoe to fill. But the second movie is less of a sequel and more of like somebody remaking the first one by memory, kind of. They're like, oh, remember that movie Alligator? Let's do that again, sort of, whatever. But like, it's such a good time. It's like I said it earlier in the beginning of the episode, or maybe the preamble, I think. It's one of those B movie. It's the B movie that you want. It's the Troll 2, you know what I mean? Where the acting is just corny enough, the situations are just corny enough. There's a lot of good one-liners, a lot of great stuff. There's a lot to like about this movie, and again, like, it's definitely enjoyed best when under the influence with a bunch of friends, for sure. It's a good time. It's a cozy one. I grew up with this one, so maybe I have a little bit of more of a soft spot for it than most other people. But yeah, if you like creature movies and you like B movies, this is right in the pocket. Again, not the first movie at all. It's just a different kind of flavor. It's the Roger Corman version of the first movie, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But I'm here for it 100%. It's a good time. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun.
Dan, Angela?
Okay.
First last time, it's your turn.
I know. It's always me. So I went into this when I started watching this. I was like, this looks like a fucking hardcore 90s TV movie. And I'm not trying to shit on it because I watched like The Beast and stuff like that, those TV movies. That's kind of what it reminded me of how it was filmed. And then we get the main guy, and he's kind of a sleepy-ish kind of character, Hodges. But like, you grow to like the guy. Like, he's kind of charming in his own way. He's a workaholic kind of dude, and like the characters around him are kind of interesting, and not all of them, but some of them are. And like, there's some interesting interactions and some one-liners and some jokes, and there's enough to keep this as an enjoyable experience. I don't know if this is one I would go back to a lot, but I would definitely not turn my nose up to watching the film again. Definitely not the first one, like as we stated before. But it's just a different twist on the idea of the first one. It's like it reminds me of like a sci-fi movie before there were sci-fi movies, but not like just shitty sci-fi movies. Not like Two Lava, Two Lantula or some shit like that.
SYFY.
Yeah, TP, right.
Yeah. But this movie does not hold a fucking candle to the poster from the first film. Is a fucking beautiful poster. The poster of this movie reminds me of a Saturday morning cartoon. The poster for the first movie is fucking sick.
The poster's so good for the first one, but like I love the poster for this one too, because it's like it rampaging with like those two people. It's not on the VHS cover. The VHS cover is just like an eye or some shit, but the Shout DVD has like the original poster artwork. Fun.
Yeah, I want to buy a poster of the original and just fucking hang it. Like, there's not a lot of posters that do it, but I want it so fucking bad.
It's just that one's great.
Wife?
I'm kind of between Joe and Sean. Like, I liked it. I didn't. I think there needs to be more alligator kills.
Of course.
Justice for the alligator.
Alligator did nothing wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong.
It was a victim of circumstance.
Most of these large animals don't do anything wrong. They're just being animals. Like,
he wanted to be invited to the party and was mad because he didn't get invited.
Yeah, and even Mothra destroys shit. They say they're just trying to do the right thing, but they don't understand.
She just rolls up, turns into a peanut, and then leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Lays her chocolate donuts.
She is chocolate donuts. Oh, did you know? I realized the ending of this is exactly the same as the ending to Grizzly. Just want to point that out.
Well, I mean, most of these movies have very similar endings.
I've learned the only thing to kill an alligator or a grizzly bear is a rocket launcher. So,
God, Grizzly.
The only way.
God, don't watch Grizzly 2. Don't do it. Don't do it, people.
Have you done it?
Yes, I've done it.
Why?
It is not good.
Better when it was the Lost movie.
What now?
I said I liked Grizzly 2 better when it was the Lost movie, where like there was only some parts of it filmed. Like we had a work print of it a long time ago before like they finished it or whatever. And that version's better than the Nuke version with all the other shit in it.
Yeah, because there's stuff filmed in like the late 80s, early 90s. It had like George Clooney in it, and then
Laura Dern's in it.
Laura Dern and
Davies.
there was another guy. It was George Clooney, Laura Dern, and there was one other like bigger actor. Well, not at that time. But then the rest of the movie is
Charlie Sheen was in it.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, that was the beginning of the movie, and then the rest of the movie is like newer footage that just feels so out of place, and it's just, and most of the time nothing is happening. Yeah, it's not good.
Like, they filled it in with shit, and it's unfortunate because like the John Rhys Davies stuff is fucking hilarious. Like him like hunting that giant, like the bear.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're like, here's a music festival, and they're actually going to play entire songs from this music festival. And I was like, what is this? Why is this an hour and a half? I don't understand.
It's a David Lynch fever dream.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, I enjoyed this movie a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's nowhere near the original. I love the original. I love like everything behind it. I love Robert Forster. I love the effects of the gator. Like, I feel like you see the gator more in the original than you do in the sequel, which I feel is something you shouldn't do, because usually with sequels you see more of that said animal. Like Jaws 2, like Jaws, all the Jaws sequels, you saw the shark way more in those compared to the original. It's like, why are we seeing less of the alligator in the sequel? That was like one of my biggest complaints. Like, there was times where I was like, it's been like 20 minutes and we haven't seen anything from the alligator. Like, that's a problem. Like, what are we doing here?
It is.
But when the gator's on screen or when things are happening, I was having a good time. The subplots were ridiculous, but they were fun. Just going into that wrestling match was hilarious. Like, seeing these dudes just like beat the shit out of each other, like on top of like dinner tables as everybody's dressed in like suits. It was wild stuff. But
why is
good time.
it there? I don't know. It's great though.
I definitely need to snag the Shout Factory Blu-ray, because I need to see some. Hopefully, there's some good behind the scenes of the movie on it.
Pretty good stuff, and the picture is great. I mean, it looks good. So I don't know where you guys watched it.
I watched it on Prime, so whatever
maybe
Prime's quality is fine.
Tubi.
I should have watched it on Tubi, to be honest.
Tubi has both of them, first and second one, as of this recording.
I'm gonna bitch.
Yeah, Shudder has them both too.
Tubi. Those motherfuckers. We were trying to watch Alligator 2. Like, oh, you can't use the search function because we're fucking airing the Super Bowl. Blah blah blah. I want to watch Alligator 2. Fuck the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Dead serious. You could not use the search function, and you couldn't access like your watch history.
It's probably overloaded.
And the thing actually came up. It said this is disabled because of the Super Bowl.
We'll be back shortly. Like, no,
bastards.
Well, try using Netflix on Monday nights now. Good fucking luck with that nightmare.
Oh yeah,
we don't have Netflix anymore. So
because what is it, Raw on there now?
Yeah.
It slows the app down like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we're gonna go over to social media and see what you all had to say about Alligator 2: The Mutation. We got a couple people actually go, "Hey, I've never heard of this. I'm gonna go watch it right now," and I felt really happy about that. Our first one from Heather Sachs at Dork of All Dorks says, "Well, that's this evening's movie watching sorted." And I went, "Hell yeah!" SP Film Viewers says, "Nowhere near as entertaining as the first." At Movies for Days says, "It's a pretty fun follow-up to the excellent first one. The lead is charming. Dee Wallace is lovely as always. Brock Peters always makes me throw a fist in the air. And is that Kane Hodder? If you're into this genre, it's an expansion pack must-see." Very well said. Thank you, Newman. Cast Me to Hell, a horror movie podcast, says, we've been recording for a while. I can't read anymore. "I love the way the detective seems to have his hands in his pockets for about 90% of this movie."
Because he's blue-balled. He's like
totally
edging the whole movie.
I noticed that.
It's his own fault.
Yeah, he's practicing tantric, dude. If he stays at that edge, once he finally gets to do walls, his mind's just going to explode.
And then we have one.
Got to get it on the go, bro.
We have one from this Dissect That Dan, who just says the movie poster reminds me of a Saturday morning cartoon.
I did say that. That's true fact.
You did say that. That's why I read
Nothing wrong with Saturday morning cartoons. I fucking love Saturday. I remember Street Sharks. All right, relax. I also remember that time that Vin Diesel repped for Street Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, you can watch that shit on YouTube still.
This is Jab, and he punches people and shit.
Yeah, I had the toy. I don't remember which one it was, but I had one of the toys.
We have a couple over on Instagram. One of them is from Big Optimus 33, or our good friend Daniel Collins, who says, "I've never seen this movie, but giant monster alligator sounds cool." It is cool. You should watch it. Our good friend.
Watch the first one.
Yes, watch the first one first. Yeah.
Double feature.
Or watch this one first because they don't link. Well, you can watch this one first, and then when you watch the first one after the second one, you'd be like, "Holy shit!" Maybe you'll appreciate the first one even more.
Oh, wow.
It's a better version of the story.
Yeah.
No, then you'll watch the first one and be like, "Why'd they reuse all those shots from the second one?" Like, in the sewer.
So, counterpoint: watch both of them back to back, and then by the time you get to the second, moving, whatever you're drinking or substance you may be taking is in full effect, so you can really enjoy it.
Spot. Yeah,
absolutely. Our good friend Captain Steve Coates from the Bucket of Chum Movie Podcast says, pretty disappointing compared to the original. Of course, I own it on Blu-ray. How could I not?
Thanks, Captain.
All right. Please pause as I look at the other ones.
One of them says something about natural male enhancement, surely.
Grow your gator. Yeah,
absolutely.
Put some of that future chemical on it. You're good to go.
Oh, here's over on Blue Sky, our good friend Heather Sachs, she posted another poster of this movie, and it's possibly one of the worst posters I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's the VHS cover.
Ugh, gross.
Oh, nice. Oh, that is it. What the fuck? Oh, okay. I was like, what is that? It's a boat with people in it. Could not tell.
Like, what is this? And then we had I had a couple over on the Slasher app, which is a horror app. Yeah, we had another person who just said never heard of it. Now I want to see it, and I said you're welcome. That was Retro Zombie Horror. Then we have Ezio Voorhees, who says it's pretty bad in my opinion. Real low class B movie and not really a funny one. All right.
I don't know about that, but okay.
And then our last one is from Skull8430, who just said it may be a B movie, but it's still good to watch once. You know what? I can't disagree with that. I say
always recommend watch them once.
Yeah, that's we always, even if we didn't like a movie on the show, we always recommend you see it once to form your own opinion, because that's don't listen to us boneheads when we talk about movies and take our word for it if something's bad or we think something's bad. All right, well that's it. That's Alligator 2, The Mutation. Next week, we're finishing off the month by covering another movie that came out in 2024, a long-awaited sequel, and a sequel that most people question, did we actually need this? As we talk about 2024's Beetlejuice. I'm very excited to talk about the one. I've been dying to talk about this movie for a while, so I'm very excited. If you want to listen to another Beetlejuice review, make sure to check out Movie Dumpster's live show where they talked about Beetlejuice, because there was a special. Sean wasn't in the episode. It was actually was it Bat Juice? He took your place during that episode. So just for that, it's worth the watch.
It was an honor.
So it was great.
An honor to do it with Bat Juice. Yeah.
Bat Juice is actually in the room behind me. For anyone watching the video version of this, it's in the room behind me. Him. Oh, Bat Juice. Look it up.
Have you ever seen Sean and Bat Juice in the same room at the same time? That's all I'm saying.
No.
I go in that closet. God. He comes out. I don't know.
Oh Lord.
You go to that phone booth and then you come.
I'll have to watch it after we record because I don't want to be disappointed.
Oh man. Yeah, we got one more episode before we jump into our first franchise in quite a while. So we have polls all over the social media, so make sure you go cast your votes on that. We have the Lord of the Rings, the original trilogy, the theatrical cuts of the original Lord of the Rings, not the animated ones. We have the Bourne series, and then we have the Underworld series. So make sure to cast your vote and see which one you want us to talk about. We're going to be talking about all the movies in said series. So go to Patreon, go to Twitter. You can go all to those.
I got $5 on it that says Underworld is going to win.
Parker,
you're probably right.
I'm gonna lace this a little bit. Parker has never seen Lord of the Rings.
I've only seen Fellowship. I've only seen Fellowship.
Are you into it? Like,
not really. I remember watching Fellowship. It had to have been around the DVD release, and I bought it and I watched it and I went, "Wow, that was boring." And then I had no interest in the other two.
Sean, it's okay, dude. I'm
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's boring.
Oh yeah, no, like everybody made fun of me.
I mean, this was 11. This was 11-year-old Parker. So
Well, because everybody was watching Clerks 2, and they're like, "Oh, see, when he made fun of the Lord of the Rings, because that movie sucks," and the hyperbole from.
I guess when I was 11, I read the book. I was like all about it, but different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to hear about a rewatch opinion on that. Regardless,
yeah.
Remember, we're front loading it with though.
Oh yes, if that one wins, you're also getting the animated Hobbit.
Oh, there you go.
Because fuck those other Hobbit movies. Because I'm sorry, I read The Hobbit. It shouldn't be 3 movies, Peter Jackson. No. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, it could have been. It's fine. It just should have been better.
We're just gonna watch the.
I'm not gonna sit here and bash movies I've never seen because I've only seen one. I was bored. I was 11. I haven't seen the other, so I'm not gonna say I hate them. It was just never my thing. But
they're taking the Hobbit to Isengard.
But I am making sure that the first time that I watch some of these movies will be for this show. So I'm not going to watch them beforehand. So
very rarely does Parker. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I know. I'm just saying. Make sure you cast your vote. If you join the Patreon at the free tier, you can cast your vote there, or join at any tier. We have the $1 tier and the $3 tier. Your vote counts as 2 votes over on Patreon, and then we have a poll up on Twitter. We have a poll up on Instagram, and we have a poll up on Threads. So just go to any one of those and cast your votes, and then I have to sit there and try to figure out all the numbers at the end. That's what we're doing. Now it's time for our guests to tell us where everyone can find them and what they got cooking.
Yeah, for sure, man. When is this episode going to drop?
This will be the 21st.
Okay. Yeah, so you can follow us at Movie Dumpster on all your social media platforms. You can check us out at moviedumpsterpodcast.com. We got a store there. We got links to our Patreon and our YouTube and Apple Podcasts and Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. We're on YouTube, so check us out there. And we had just dropped our Valentine's Day episode, which was Lover's Lane. And then we had also just done, I believe by this time, our Vampire in Brooklyn episode is out or coming out.
Because I think as of this recording, you guys just determined that it won, right?
Yeah. Vampire in Brooklyn had won because we had just did a poll. So that's coming for you. If it's not out yet, it's coming out soon. And yeah, if you dig this show, you might like our show. Go check it out, Movie Dumpster.
Now, Vampire in Brooklyn, is that Wes Craven or is that John Carpenter?
Wes Craven.
It's Wes Craven. Okay. Yeah. I always get the. Yeah. Did you know Wes Craven directed a movie with Eddie Murphy in it?
Eddie Murphy?
Not many people. Make sure to check out that episode. I remember watching that as a kid.
I'm really looking forward to revisiting it. Yeah.
Because I love Eddie Murphy and I watched everything that he was in. And I was like, he's a vampire? Hell yeah. And then my dad was like, hey, he directed Nightmare on Elm Street. And I went, no way. He just blew my mind. So yeah, all the links for Movie Dumpster will be down in the description. So make sure. I mean, they've been on the show a bunch of times, so you guys know you need to listen to Movie Dumpster. You need to be an avid listener of Movie Dumpster because they make great stuff and they're great guys. So make sure to check all their stuff out. As for us, you can follow us on all the social medias, Twitter. Oh my God. Because I got hacked on my Instagram, I had to change our Instagram name. So I have to remember which ones are Dissect That Film and which ones are Dissect That Film Pod. Instagram and Threads, it's Dissect That Film Pod. All the rest of them are Dissect That Film. You can follow our YouTube channel where you can see the video version of every episode, youtube.com/Dissect That Film. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment on what you thought of the episode. We always get a few and it's always nice to read. So please leave us more comments. It's always nice to get some positive feedback on what we're doing here. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/Dissect That Film, where I would just mention the fact that you can cast your vote on our polls. We actually release uncut versions of the episodes where pretty much once we're done recording, I will literally put it on Patreon. Well, not the same day, but you'll get it about a week before the fully edited episode, which is always fun. So it's always, you get our pre-show banter and all that fun stuff. Yeah, it's good times. And it's only for $1. So that's I feel it's worth it. It's worth it. I mean, we got a lot of good stuff cooking. Like I said, we Discord. Yeah. Oh yeah. We now have a fully functioning Discord, which you can join, and we have a bunch of different things in there. You could talk about, toys, physical media, comics, all this stuff. It's not just about movies. We're trying to make it cool little community over there. So you'll get access to the Discord if you join the Patreon. We have a new logo for the show, so we're actually going to be putting that on merch, so you can be able to buy merch with our new logo on it. As you can see, I'm wearing my Movie Dumpster shirt, which means you could buy, Movie Dumpster merch from the gentleman down below. Yeah, we represent here at Dissect That Film. We are. I don't know. I kind of like Movie Dumpster. They're all right.
My work attire,
yeah. Yeah, that's about it. This is my least favorite part of the show because I'm horrible at selling our show. So thank you so much for making it this far and listening to us and watching us. And hopefully you enjoyed our episode on Alligator 2. Next week it's Beetlejuice. And we're just having a good time. Last but not least, we're going to thank our wonderful patrons over on patreon.com. We have Billy Joseph Jr., Andrew Schoening, Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast, Corey Morissette, Daniel Collins, Dustin from the Flicks and Friends Podcast, Angela, Anna Presley, Dan, Doom Generation, Eric Stein, Jason, Robert Stewart, Rudy5453, and the Baron's Hideout Podcast. Thank you for supporting us over on Patreon. Thank you to everybody else for supporting us, period. Make sure to share the show, get us into more ears, leave us 5 stars on all the podcast apps and all that fun stuff. All right, I'm done. All right, until next time. I am Brett Parker. That is Dan Angel of DNA Gaming, and that is Joe and Sean from Movie Dumpster. This has been another episode of the Dissect That Film Podcast. We'll see you all again next time. And make sure, don't flush your alligators down the toilet, okay? It's not good for, the sewers, okay? And, yeah, just, come on, be respectful, all right? All right, see you later, everybody.
Stay away from those future chemicals. Thanks for having us, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye!
All right.